It's a warm, cloudy night here at 105-year-old Eldridge Park in Orleans, Massachusetts for some Thursday night baseball between the YD Red Sox and the Orleans Firebirds. After a slew of dominant pitching between the Red Sox and the Chatham Anglers yesterday resulted in a tie, the Red Sox look to get back in the win column here in Northeast Cape Cod. Orleans also looking to get back in the win column after falling to the Harwich Mariners 3-2 on opening day, then yesterday getting rained out against Brewster, playing in only their second game of the Cape League season. We welcome you field side alongside Brandon Pelter. I'm TJ Matheson. And Brandon, yesterday pitching was really the name of the game for both teams, both Chatham and YD. And we got a chance to see Brant Herder, Alec Marsh, and Sam Kessler really put a show on the bump.
And for YD, that's something they did so well last season. Any game you saw the Red Sox, you saw them in a game and one of the top pitching staffs in the league, along with this Orleans Firebirds team who had the #1 staff across the league. Yeah, pitching kept them in that game. And for YD, when you watched the game, it was one where they had so many opportunities down to the very final inning in the ninth. Bases loaded, 1 out. Scott Pickler gambled with the suicide squeeze, and unfortunately they couldn't pull it off, popping it back to the pitcher, and Chatham was able to turn the double play. For YD, you got to keep your head high, though, because they had so many opportunities. They were the better team. Maybe didn't look so on paper, but watching that game, that should have been a YD win.
And tonight we have a matchup of Andrew Abbott from University of Virginia for Orleans facing off against Brant Herder from Sacred Heart University, who originally thought it was going to be Jensen Elliott, but instead it will be the junior from Sacred Heart.
And Brent Teller was with YD last season, pitching 2 games, both out of relief. 3 innings pitched total, gave up 2 hits, 3 Ks, no runs. And this past season, then for Sacred Heart, leading that pitching staff with nearly 80 innings pitched in 13 starts. Although the ERA a bit elevated at 5.24, he's certainly going to want to work to get that down. But 77 strikeouts, just about 1 inning there from Teller.
Yeah, we're going to also see Elliott again tonight, getting him some work. We did see him once in the scrimmages earlier this season, but right now we're going to take a break for the national anthem. And next, we're going to have first pitch and more.
Tonight, we're honoring our interns, and in particular Tyler Kasuba, our head intern. Tyler graduated this past May from Western New England University with a degree in sports management. He had some great experiences during the summer between his sophomore and junior years, having interned with the World Wrestling Entertainment, better known as WWE. And he was also able to attend the Rio Olympics as part of his sports management program. A native of Milford, Connecticut, Tyler will pursue a master's degree in sports management at Springfield College in the fall. His goal is a job in baseball operations. Our interns are an integral part of the Firebirds.
First pitch here at Eldridge Park. Umpires and managers just finishing up their meeting on the mound. Still a couple minutes away from the national anthem. Of course, you missed the first game of this YD season. Very high-scoring, sloppy affair against the Bourne Braves. Saw Matt Dyer walk-off single down the third base line, off the third base bag. A nice lucky bounce there. And then, of course, we had the game yesterday, almost a complete opposite, although the conditions were more favorable for the kind of game we saw in Game 1.
And I think that's the big thing that you have to focus on. While it ended up being a tie for YD and Chatham, the improvement there from games 1 to 2. Game 1 was a sloppy game, 5 combined errors, could have been a couple more. And so for the Red Sox, while they only committed one of those errors, some mental mistakes on the base paths, doing things wrong, and just not playing smart baseball. Yesterday, we saw a pretty clean game, no errors between each sides, and again, as we talked about before we went to that quick break, the opportunity was there for YD to win that game in a couple different innings, not just in the ninth when they had the bases loaded.
And the Firebirds are taking the field as we speak. They will now look out towards center field and put their gloves on the ground for the national. We will take that break. Right back with you.
Singing and playing the piano since age 6. He received a music degree from the University of Connecticut School of Fine Arts and has had a distinguished singing career at numerous churches and wedding venues in Connecticut and North Carolina. Gale participated in a 10-day trip to Germany and Austria to sing in all the grand cathedrals in 2010 and participated in a chorus by invitation only who performed at Carnegie Hall in 2013. Now, as a sportsman, Gale has sung the national anthem in the Greensboro Coliseum for both indoor football and hockey games. Take it away, Gale.
Can you see? Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
The anthem is sung. We are ready for baseball here at Eldridge Park. We'll take their positions and do their warm-ups before Zach Ashford will step into left-handed batter's box for the first pitch of this one. The Red Sox lineup that will oppose Andrew Abbott in this game number 3 of the Cape League season for YD. Zach Ashford, as I mentioned, the junior outfielder from Fresno State, playing center field and batting leadoff tonight. Jimmy Govern, the second baseman, will bat second. The right fielder, Quinn Cotton, will bat third. Cleaning up for them, first baseman Matt Dyer. Left field, Adam Kerner, moving out from his spot from behind the plate. Batting sixth, the third baseman Nick Quintana. Batting seventh, the catcher Vito Freesia. Batting eighth, the designated hitter Cale Emshoff. And batting ninth and rounding out the nine will be the shortstop Luke Waddell, who we saw pop up the bunt in the ninth inning last night, resulting in the game-ending double play and failed suicide squeeze play. Posing them on the mound and starting for Orleans will be Andrew Abbott, a freshman just finishing up his freshman season from Virginia. 24 appearances, just one start. He did save 6 games, 51 innings pitched on the season, a 3.18 ERA. Struck out 78 batters and only walked 16. So looks like these YD hitters are going to have to work a little bit to get on base today.
And for Abbott here, coming in this start, we've seen some major league teams kind of experiment with different things. The Tampa Bay Rays especially, it's a different mindset to start a baseball game. So here for Abbott, I think in the early innings, he's going to be tested. And for YD, if you can get on him and rattle him early, he's not familiar. He's not in an element that he's used to and might not be so comfortable.
We're going to see how many innings Kelly Nicholson, manager of the Orleans Firebirds, will let Abbott go, but left-hander will dig in on the rubber, and Zach Ashford will dig into left-handed batter's box. Zach not as good of a day yesterday as his opening day performance. Base hit and a walk to go along with a ground out and a fly out. Of course, had a 4-hit day on opening day against Bourne. Left-hander will step in, and left-hander Abbott will wind and fire home the first pitch. That'll miss just outside for a ball. 6:59 the local time here in Orleans, Massachusetts. Weather sitting at 71 degrees, partially cloudy. Sun peeking through the clouds a little bit. This pitch will miss outside for ball 2. Quickly 2-0 the count.
Ashford has really been one of the catalysts for this YD team, a scrappy ball player. He's going to get on base. He's done it more than 50% of the time so far in his at-bats.
Now here's the wind in the 2-0. That one is cracked to the shortstop. That will be Martinez. Fields it, fires on over to first in time, and a quick out number 1 for Abbott. Ashford leads off with a ground out to short, and that'll bring up the second baseman, Jimmy Govern. Seeing Jimmy out at shortstop and playing at second base as well.
A second baseman by trade there for Jimmy Govern, but early in this Cape League season, you'll see guys really play anywhere and be where they have to be to get in a ball game.
There's the first pitch from Abbott. That'll be over for a strike. As mentioned, players playing everywhere. Whitey has 4 different catchers on their roster, but usually only can play 1 at a time. So today we see a catcher and Kerner out in left field. And then Dyer, as Govern will foul one off his foot. Count going 0-2 on Govern. And we see Matt Dyer over there at first base, as though it seems like Scott Pickler's more likely to try Dyer out in another position. Kind of an unusual frame for Dyer, standing at 6 foot, about weighing 200 pounds, a little bit big to be behind the plate. First base, much better profile for him to go along with the bat. Abbott winds and fires home the 0-2. That one is grounded up the middle. Martinez again will field, fire on over to first in time, and 2 quick outs on the ground for Andrew Abbott. Now here is Quinn Cotton, Western Athletic Conference Player of the Year. Hit .390 this season with Grand Canyon. So we'll dig in. Winning from the right side.
We've already seen the speed that Cotton shows off.
Here's a wind in the first pitch. That'll miss down for a ball. 1-0 the count on Cotton. Spent last season in the Alaska Summer League. Probably arguably the second best summer collegiate league behind this one up here in Cape Cod. So the next one looks like a changeup. That'll miss low. 2-0 the count on Cotton.
So many summer collegiate leagues, Coastal Plains, Northwoods, NECBL. There's good play in all of them, but none of them quite touch the Cape.
Cotton testing out that right here. There's the next pitch. That one's cracked foul down the first base line onto the hill here at Eldridge Park. If you've never been down the first base line behind the Orleans Firebirds dugout, are not stands. It's just a hill rising up to the parking lot about 50 feet from the edge of the Orleans dugout. Provides a great view for fans and a very scenic atmosphere as that next pitch will miss low for a ball. 3-1 the count on Cotton.
And for Quinn Cotton, if he can get on base any way he can with the wheels that he has, he becomes such a threat. Even here with 2 outs, he can quickly advance into scoring position.
Abbott winds, and he'll fire home to 3-1. Swing and a miss by Cotton. And the count's full now, 3 balls and 2 strikes. We don't see Cotton swing and miss a lot. You mentioned the speed. It's not just that. It's the bat speed. It's the control. It's like he has control of the entire field when he's swinging the bat. Abbott winds, and here's the full count offering. And that's chopped right back to the mound. Abbott will field, throw on over to first in time. And on 3 ground outs, YD is retired here in the first. Head to the bottom half of the frame. Orleans coming to bat. You're listening to YD Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
The Orleans Firebirds and the YD Red Sox, Cape Cod Baseball League and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation and positive support of participants and visitors. Profanity, racial, or sexist comment, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from this ballpark. We ask parents to keep their children off the roofs of the dugout away from the batting cages and out of the bullpen area. Please store your rubbish into the barrels and recyclable aluminum cans.
And all the what?
And most importantly, folks, make sure that you and your children stay off of Route 28 behind us. It's a busy state highway, and we don't want someone to get hurt over $5 baseball.
R-U-M. All right, ready? Backfield side here at Eldridge Park. Firebirds set to come to bat here in the bottom of the first inning. Here is the lineup that will be opposing Brent Teller. Leading off in the center field will be Brandon White. In right field, batting second will be Matt Frazier from the University of Arizona, batting third. And in left field will be Jack Groshans, batting fourth and cleaning up. The first baseman, Logan Wyatt, batting fifth. The second baseman, Carter Aldretti, batting sixth. The catcher, James Free, the second, batting seventh. The designated hitter, Kevin Milam, batting eighth. The third baseman, Justin LeVay, and batting seventh will be the shortstop, Ricky Martinez. As index steps Brandon White. It's the first pitch from Brent Teller will miss outside for ball one. 1-0 the count. Of course, we thought we were seeing Jensen Elliott on the bump for the Red Sox today, but it will be Teller instead. We might see Elliott later out of the bullpen as that next pitch is fouled back off along the first base side. Count will even at 1-1. As mentioned, Teller pitched on Whitey last year, 3 appearances, just 4 innings. Here's a wind. Here's the chop up the middle. That'll split the infielders and into center field for a base hit. Brandon White leads off the Orleans half of the inning with a base hit. And 1 batter in, Orleans a runner on first base.
And here you add some speed onto the base pass early on as Matt Frazier steps to the plate. But the 3-man here, Jack Groshans, had a successful Cape League last season. You don't want the bases with a few men on as he steps up.
Here is Matt Frazier. He's at the University of Arizona in right field today. First pitch will catch the strike zone as Vito Frischia will take a peek at Brandon White at first base, but White will scamper back to the bag.
And for Frischia there, one of the knocks on him, such a big body guy, is defense, and that's something that he's poised to keep in mind as he plays this summer.
Teller comes set. Here's a wind in the 0-1. That'll pop up on the infield. Calling for it is Waddell. He settles under it and squeezes the glove for out number 1.
That's a great response after giving up the leadoff hit up the middle. You turn around, you get that quick out here and keep things on the infield as well.
Well, sometimes elevating in the strike zone can lead to problems, but not when you get it up far enough and catch the batter swinging underneath the baseball and just skying it on the infield, setting up the possibility for an inning-ending double play right here. Here's Jack Groshans. Right-hander will step into the batter's box. And Teller will throw on over to first, but diving back in time. Diving back in time is White. Groshans steps back in. Teller set. Here's the next pitch. Swing and a miss. Looked like a changeup there from Teller. And Groshans swinging right over the top of it.
Groshans last season hitting over 300, a couple home runs as well. He had a successful Cape year, and he hit some of the top pitching in the country. So certainly a dangerous bat here.
Batting at Kansas this season. So there's the next one. Swing and a miss. And the count quickly. No balls and 2 strikes on Groshans. Dimensions here at Eldridge Park. 314 down the right field line. And then way out in center field, 434 feet. That is a long way away. And then down the left field line, 300. Teller comes set. Winds and fires home the 0-2. High and away for a ball. 1-2 the count. Now, I cannot confirm this, but I believe there has been only one player ever to hit one over that 434 sign in dead center field. You might know his name, Frank Thomas, MLB Hall of Famer, over 500 career home runs. There's a wind in the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Looks like he went right back to that changeup. And Teller records his first strikeout of the evening. It's Groshans. And that'll bring up the first baseman, Logan Wyatt.
It's been a great response here from Brent Teller on the bump for YD. Allows the leadoff man to get that base hit. Now, quick out on the infield and a great strikeout. That should boost the confidence for this YD team.
No score here, bottom of the first inning. Two down. Here's Wyatt. And that'll catch the outside corner for strike 1. White still over there at first base. Not getting too far off the bag. Wind blowing from right to left field. Just slightly. The flagpole out in deep right center field. Sun setting out beyond the right field fence. There's a wind and the next pitch. A pitch out. Looking back wide at first base is Freesia, but it'll be a ball. Count now even at 1-1. She got to look to control that running game. Keep White over there at first and out of scoring position. Teller comes set, wind, and here comes the next one. It'll be low for a ball, 2-1 the count. Teller got to be a little bit more careful with Wyatt right here. Wyatt out of Louisville, Kentucky. 6 home runs, 339 average for the Cardinals this season. One, here's the next pitch. It'll be fouled straight back. And the count will be now even at 2-2 strikes. Deuces Wild. 2 outs as well. No score here, bottom of the first inning. YD and Orleans scoreless so far. Wyatt back in the batter's box. Taylor will peek over his shoulder at the runner. White. And will fire home the 2-2. That'll bounce it in there. Good block there by Freesia. And then White will get back to the bag at first. Now got a full count, 3-2 strikes.
Great job by Freesia there, keeping that ball in front, keeping it close as well, not allowing it to kick out and away from him.
Now, Taylor going to need to be careful about where he puts this one. If it's just slightly off the corner, Wyatt is one of the best in the country at drawing walks this season, as that next one is cracked out to deep right field. Back goes Cotton at the wall. It is gone. Logan Wyatt touches up Brett Teller for a 2-run home run here in the bottom of the first inning, and the Firebirds strike first. It is 2-0 Orleans. That was touched.
And Wyatt just waiting on that with a fastball in the inner third and absolutely turning on that one, cranking it to right field. A no-doubter off the bat. The early lead here for the Firebirds.
As I was about to mention, Wyatt, one of the best in the country at drawing walks, over 60 walks during the regular season with Louisville. If you're going to throw him a strike, he knows where it is, and if you're going to throw him a ball, he's going to take it and take his base. As that first pitch from Teller to Carter Aldretti, infielder from Arizona State, is high and inside for ball 1, but Teller left that one too much over the middle of the plate, and Wyatt did not miss it. 2-0 Orleans. Here's the next pitch to Aldretti. That'll mix inside for a ball. 2-0 the count. Aldretti just finishing up his sophomore season at Arizona State. Here's one, the next pitch from Teller. That'll miss down and away for ball 3. 3-0 the count. Out of Monterey, California. 53 games played this season, 293 average, 3 home runs, 31 RBIs. There's wind in the next pitch. He'll catch the inside corner for a strike. 3-1 now the count. Aldretti, though only with 3 home runs, does have more power than those 3 home runs show. Of course, plays all of his home games at Phoenix Municipal Stadium, as that pitch is lined out into center field. Back is Ashford, going slightly to his right. He'll squeeze it for out number 3, but not before Orleans strikes first. Logan Wyatt, a 2-run home run to give the Firebirds the lead. We'll head to the top of the second inning. Orleans up 2-0. You're listening Cape Cod League Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
I went like this. I knew it was gone. Additionally, the National Sports Campaign format creates the use of an tobacco product for this location. We greatly appreciate your assistance in honoring this tobacco-free request. Thank you. Cameras and video cameras are permitted inside Eldridge Park for personal photos, but cannot be used to reproduce the game, players, or off-field events without the express written permission of the drivers. Use of camera and video equipment must not interfere with other fans and enjoyment of the game.
Oh, okay. Great card.
Tonight's post-game dinner is sponsored by Friends of the Firebirds. Players, coaches, and interns are fed after every home game. If you'd like to sponsor a post-game dinner, see Elaine at the merchandise stand.
We got 18 listeners on this stream. 58 there. Wow. The video's got to be so easy. Oh, I'm going to come up with that. Keep that up. Have you heard the audio? Oh, wait. We can still I got this one.
Top of the second inning, Whitey in an early hole here at Eldridge Park, 2-0, thanks to Firebirds first baseman Logan Wyatt touching one off Brent Taylor for a 2-run home run in the bottom half of the first inning. Leading off for YD in this top half of the second inning will be first baseman Matt Dyer, getting clean up here tonight. Of course, Matt on the roster listed as a catcher and caught his freshman year at University of Oregon before transferring to Arizona this past spring and sitting out the 2018 spring. Digs in for YD right here, hitting from the right side. The wind to the first pitch from Abbott will catch the plate at the knees for a strike, 0-1 the count. Dyer, of course, the hero on opening day, walk-off RBI single. Line, and here's the next one from Abbott. That'll catch the plate at the knees again. Count now, no balls and 2 strikes. Sun setting here at Eldridge Park behind out in right field. Line to the next pitch from Abbott. Swing and a miss. There's strike 3 for Dyer, and quickly 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and an out for the Red Sox.
There you get into a hole, and as a hitter, you're not sure, is he going to come right after me? Is he going to try to waste a pitch there? Straight fastball, down low, right around the knees, and Dyer just couldn't catch up to it.
Yeah, and that was Abbott just painting the bottom of the strike zone to get Dyer right there. In steps Adam Kerner, freshman out of the University of San Diego. Swing and miss for strike 1. Kerner also listed as a catcher on YD's roster, but out in left field for the game here this evening. Abbott winds and fires home the 0-1. That one's chopped foul over the YD dugout down the third base line. And the count now 0-2. Kerner, responsible for the lone YD home run on this season, went yard straightaway center field back at Red Wilson Field on opening day. Of course, a 10-9 YD victory. Line by Abbott. Here's the next pitch. That'll miss low for a ball. 1-2 the count. Abbott attacking that bottom half of the strike zone here in the second. Trying to keep YD hitters hitting the ball on the ground. He's done successfully so far. 3 groundouts in the first inning. There's a 1-2. Swing and a miss from Kerner. 2 batters, 2 strikeouts for Andrew Abbott, the Orleans starter of the University of Virginia. Now will step in Nick Quintana, batting 6th and at third base for YD tonight.
Quintana last year here late in the season, late in a game, wanted a moonshot to left field to put YD ahead, and then eventually that game went into extras and a big win for the Red Sox late.
Abbott winds and fires one home to Quintana, and that'll catch the plate for a strike. 0-1 the count. Quintana finishing up his sophomore season at the University of Arizona this past spring. 313, 14 home runs, 17 doubles. Here's the next pitch from Abbott. Another curveball and another strike. And quickly ahead 0-2. Seen Abbott very aggressive in this inning, getting ahead of all the YD hitters. Seen Quintana struggle with strikeouts so far this season. Struggled with strikeouts last season as well. Leading YD in strikeouts with 50. This pitch will miss inside for a ball. 1-2 the count. Quintana taps the bat just behind the plate. Drags back towards him. Slightly open stance from the right side. Abbott, left-handed pitcher, will wind and fire home the 1-2. That one is fouled up and way behind home plate. The count will stay at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yesterday for Quintana, had 2 strikes on him, but was able to battle back and draw the walk. All good things you like to see, especially a guy that's known for striking out, to get a little more comfortable, to settle and battle in the box there.
We know Quintana can hit. We've seen him do it at the University of Arizona. As that next pitch will miss low for a ball. 2-2 the count now, but just hard to see him continue to struggle. I have a hard time seeing that he will continue to struggle this summer, feeling that he's going to turn it around.
You see it right there. I mean, in that 1-2 pitch that ended up missing low, a fastball that he might have swung through last year.
Line, and here's the 2-2. That one is cracked the other way, and it'll make its way into right field for a base hit. Nick Quintana is on the board, his first hit of the 2018 summer.
And down 0-2 in that count, as we were talking about, just battling and fighting your way there. A great thing to see from Nick Quintana to be able to push that one through the right side.
Yeah, as mentioned, a guy who had entered this game, still hadn't collected his first hit of the season, even though he started each of the last 2 games. Sets the catcher, Vito Fresia. Abbott working with a man on for the first time today. Will throw on over to first, and Quintana scoots back in time. Fresia out of Hofstra. Did start yesterday behind the plate as well. Abbott wides and will fire home the first pitch. There's a pickoff to Quintana down at first. The ball misses high and away for a ball, and Quintana safe at first. But for Quintana, that's got to feel really good, especially just shortening your swing, taking a ball the other way through the open side of the infield. Second baseman already playing up the middle a little bit on Quintana, and Quintana just taking the ball the other way through the open side of the infield. Got to feel really good for him. Next pitch will catch the outside corner for a strike, even up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Wind picking up a little bit, still blowing from right field to left. Here's the next pitch. It'll miss down and inside for a ball. 2-1 the count.
Fresia here, still adjusting from the metal bats, the aluminum, here to the wood, and just trying to find himself at the plate and get himself going while he's here.
Abbott set. Here's a wind, and the 2-2. That one is lined to the other way. That'll drop for a base hit. Quintana will hit the brakes at second. That ball was hit a little too hard into right field, and Frazier was able to get it back in quickly. But 2 straight hits with 2 outs. Whitey is threatening here in the second. That'll bring up Kale Emshoff.
And that's what Vito Fresia knows how to do well. You just go with that ball with what you're given. After hitting 353 for Hofstra, showing off some power as well. Saw how hard he hit that ball.
Brought his average up 100 points since his freshman season at Hofstra, where he hit just hit 253. As mentioned, hit 353 this season as a junior. Emshoff will step in. He had 3 strikeouts yesterday before getting replaced. So first pitch, a curveball, catch the plate for a strike. 0-1. Emshoff out of University of Arkansas, Little Rock.
I was going to say, well, no, very good breaking ball without a doubt.
So after getting through the first 5 hitters, not allowing a hit, it's 2 straight singles for YD with 2 outs here in the second. There's a wind in the 0-1. Swing and a miss by Emshoff, and quickly 0-2 on the designated hitter for YD today. Now Emshoff, you got to be careful with Abbott. It's been aggressive in the bottom half of the strike zone here in this inning. So if he goes back to that curveball he's used a couple times already. Here's the next pitch. Just misses down low and inside for a ball. 1-2 the count.
And sticking with the fastball as he did when he was up on Nick Quintana, and just missing with that one inside.
Emshoff back in the batter's box, right-handed hitter, slightly open stance. Hands at around his chest level. Wind, and here's the 1-2. Curveball grounded out to short. Martinez will field it, flip it over to Aldretti for out number 3. Whitey threatens but can't score any runs here in the top of the second inning. We'll head to the bottom half of the frame. Orleans do back up, leading 2-0. You're listening to the YD Red Sox on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Tickets for $1 for $1, $5 for $2, $20 for $5, or $60 for $10. Playing prizes include a bookie board, a fireworks shooting board, snail cruise, a harbor cruise, and of course, the top prize is 50% of the money that we take in tonight. 2018 Firebirds Yearbook is available at the home plate shop and at the tables around the park, as well as at many locations throughout Orleans State. This year's yearbook has many new features, including an interview with former Major Leaguer and 2007 and 8 4-league player Big Nate Bryan, and a feature story about the Orleans 1993 championship team. Be sure to check out the coach's corner on page 49 to see how the Firebirds roster is determined. Check out the biographies of our players, coaches, and interns, as well as the most comprehensive statistics on the Cape League and New Orleans Pirates. Please pick up your complimentary copy of the 2018 Orleans Firebird Yearbook, and remember, it is free because generous advertising.
Bottom of the second inning, YD trailing Orleans 2-0 here at Eldridge Park. 6, 7, and 8 due up in the Orleans order. Starting with their backstop tonight, James Free. Free out of the University of Pacific, 51 games this season, 283 average, 7 home runs, 28 RBIs. Teller back out there on the bump for YD, the temp players on this YD roster. So much we thought it was Jensen Elliott that would get the start here today. But instead, it was Teller that manager Scott Pickler put on the lineup card. The first pitch will miss high and away for ball 1, 1-0 the count. That sophomore season that Free had at Pacific is not quite up to par as his freshman year, where he hit 343 with 14 dingers. The next pitch will miss high and away for ball 2, 2-0 the count. Those 14 home runs had 58 RBIs. He's a freshman All-American, second team All-WCC. Here's a wind and the 2-0 from Teller. That'll miss high again for a ball, 3-0 the count. We've seen Abbott very aggressive within the strike zone. And to start this one, Teller has been working from behind a lot. Here's a 3-0. That's over for a strike. 3-1 now the count.
We saw in the bottom of the first inning there for Teller, allowing the leadoff hit, getting 2 outs, and then the big fly.
Teller winds, and here's the 3-1. Fouled straight back, and the count now full 3 balls and 2 strikes. Look at some scores from around the Cape League. Top of the 7th inning, Chatham Anglers lead the Brewster Whitecaps 5-0. At Dorn Park, we'll get to that score in a second as Teller winds, and here's the full count offering. Grounded, fouled on the first base line, and the count will remain full, 3-2. At Dorn Park in Bourne, Falmouth and Bourne playing there. Bourne leading 2-0 in the bottom of the 3rd. Harwich Mariners and Hyannis Harborhawks doing battle as well tonight. Harwich a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the 4th. As that next pitch is fouled off again. The count will remain 3-2. And that's Spillane Field and Wareham. Katuitt and Wareham all tied up at 0. Scoreless ball game, top of the 2nd inning. Of course, this one, the last game to get underway here today. So the next pitch is cracked foul again down the first base line. Teller and Free doing battle here.
Free turning on that inside pitch and just way too early and out front.
Set out of the windup. Teller winds, and here's the 3-2. That one is cracked to shallow center field. In comes Ashford. He dives, and he makes the catch. What a catch by Zach Ashford in center field, showing off that leather.
We've seen it since game 1. The jump that Zach Ashford has and that initial read on baseballs has been spot on there. That's exactly what he needed to be able to make that all-out catch.
And not just the read. He shows off the wheels right there. He had a lot of ground coming in towards left center field. Sprawls all the way out. Catches that one in air, fully extended for out number 1. Now here is Kevin Millam, designated hitter. Excuse me, that it's Kevin Millam. He will step in. And next pitch will be fouled straight back. Count now, no balls and 2 strikes on the designated hitter today. We might see Millam pitch as well. He's listed on the roster as a first baseman and right-hander. As that fastball miss high and away. Apologize for the pronunciation. It's actually Milam. We might see Milam pitch later here today. He's listed as one of the probable guys to get the start. Here's the wind in the next pitch. That'll miss down low for a ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Back in the right-handed batter's box is Milam. Wind, and here's the next pitch from Teller. That'll miss down and away for a ball.
Milam still looking for his first hit of the season to go along with all of that as well.
Milam has worked a 3-2 count against Teller. For being behind 0-2. The next pitch from Teller is popped up on the infield. Underneath it is Waddell. He is underneath it, and he will make the catch for out number 2. After getting ahead and then falling back behind, Teller able to get the pop out of Milam, and there's 2 down.
Second time that we've seen a Firebird just get way under a ball there. And from Teller, who's been elevating some pitches a little bit, helped out by these Firebirds hitters.
Justin Levy things in, takes a strike from Teller, looking for his first 1-2-3 frame of the game. Here's the next pitch from Teller. Is just down low. Looked like he might have caught the outside corner, but just below the knees of Levy. The count even at 1-1. The windup. Here's Teller, the 1-1. That's fouled straight back again. Count now 1-2.
And here Teller ahead of a hitter for once. I'd expect him to go right after the batter here in Levy.
Maybe elevate his eyes a little bit. A fastball up and out of the strike zone. We'll see what Freesia calls from behind the plate. Here's the wind in the next pitch. That one's cracked foul down the third base line. The count will stay. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Levy out of Louisville. Just finished up his sophomore season. Teller winds, and here's the next offering. Check swing. Did he go? A check down to first base. They said he did not go. Tyler Bullock said he did not swing. Kind of hard to tell from where we are situated, just off to the left behind home plate. Count now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Teller right back on the rubber. 2 ball, 2 strike, 2 out offering. It is low and inside. The count will now run full, 3-2. Quickly back in the batter's boxes. Levy, here's the full count offering. Chopped right back to Teller. He's got it, throws it on over to Dyer, and that is out number 3 here in the bottom of the second inning. We will head to the top of the third inning here at Eldridge Park in Orleans, Massachusetts. YD and Orleans with a 2-0 lead. You're listening to the YD Red Sox on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
It is just Jacks. Just Jacks.
Much appreciation we recognize the Yawkey Foundation, Catamarca Inn, Curry College, Cape Cod Healthcare, the 99 Restaurant, the Gold Ball in Cape Cod, Cape Cod Fish Tank, Cumberland Farm, Baseball Factory, Badger Sports, Cape Cod License Plate, 47 Brand, Cape Cod 5 Cent Savings Center, Stop and Shop, Peacock, Franklin Sports, Advanced Embroidery, Cape Destination, Robert B. Allen, Sullivan Tire, Diamond Sports, Vacation in Cape Cod Veterinary Specialist, Cape Cod Time, Fairway Financial, Family Global Real Estate, Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce, Highline Cruises, Sports Fix, On Deck Sports, Barnstable Bath, Military Chamber of Commerce, HP Hood, Sutherland Printing, Access Bath, and of course, thank you to Major League Baseball for over 50 years of support.
Welcome back to Eldridge Park. It's Orleans 2 and YD-0.
Orleans a 2-0 lead here in the top of the third inning. Bottom part, line about to turn over for YD. 9-1-2 due up. Run off by the shortstop, Luke Waddell. Was Waddell at the plate last night. Bases loaded, just 1 out against Chatham. Told to lay down a bunt for a suicide squeeze. The runner came home from third, and Waddell popped it right back to the pitcher, resulting in a double play to end that game, and game resulting in a tie. First pitch to Waddell is over for a strike from Abbott out there for his third inning of work. As we mentioned in the pregame, mostly a reliever during the season at Virginia. Can't imagine he had too many 3-inning outings. Wind, and here's the next pitch from Abbott. Her ball missed high, and it'll get Waddell on the wrist, but just glances off his wrist, and he will just jog down to first and take his base. And YD, a leadoff base runner here in the third.
And any way you can get on base, it doesn't really matter. And as long as he's not feeling that one, he certainly isn't. It's a good start to this half inning for the Red Sox.
Might have missed his wrist and just got his shoulder instead and just grazed him. But speedy runner on that first in Waddell. And here's Zach Ashford, who we just saw make a spectacular diving play out in center field. Abbott winds and will fire home the first pitch. That one is grounded out to second. Aldretti will field. Throw to Martinez for one. Back on to first. Not in time. Ashford able to hustle out a fielder's choice for Zach Ashford. We'll replace Waddell at first. That'll bring up Jimmy Govern.
And therefore, Orleans, a good job by the second baseman, Aldretti, to turn and get that lead runner out. Get one out and at least keep a runner on first base for YD.
Good turn there by Aldretti. Seen him a lot at Arizona State. Moved all over the infield. Even played some outfield for Tracy Smith's ball club. Couldn't really quite find his spot where his glove fit. Struggled a bit on the infield during his freshman and sophomore season as the runner Ashford goes from first on the first pitch. Curveball in the dirt gets away from the catcher free, and Ashford will jog into second without a throw. Good jump there. Looked like he might have been safe. Even the catcher free would have gotten a chance at that one. Would have had to pick the ball right out of the dirt and make a really good throw to get Ashford. And now YD, a runner in scoring position, just one out here, top of the third inning. Orleans up 2-0 on a Logan Wyatt 2-run home run in the first inning. Here's Jimmy Garver in the shortstop, stepping in. So he'll step out and call time. Abbott will step off. First inning, grounded out to the shortstop, Martinez. Abbott out of the stretch now. Into his catcher free, gets his sign. Fire home, the 1-0 offering to Govern. That one is cracked out to center field. Back goes the center fielder, White. He is back on it. He will make the catch. Tagging, going second to third is Ashford. And the Red Sox, with 2 outs, have a runner 90 feet from home, looking to chop into that lead that Orleans got in the first inning. Good productive out from Jimmy Govern. That'll bring up arguably the best hitter on this YD roster in Quinn Cotton.
And a breaking ball just left somewhat elevated there. Govern able to turn on it, give it a bit of a ride, but not quite out to 434 in straightaway center. That's where he hit heads-up play right off the bat. Ashford to second base, and he was able to tag.
Here's Cotton stepping into the right-handed batter's box. Abbott will fire home the first pitch. That one is cracked out into left field. It'll slice and it'll get down into the corner. Scoring is Ashford, making the turn and stopping at first is Cotton. But an RBI single for the 3-hole hitter for YD, and the Red Sox are on the board. It is now 2-1 in favor of the Firebirds.
And that's exactly what happens there with the sacrifice fly. That situational baseball. Govern able to drive that one in advance. Ashford over to third base there, and a big 2-out hit for Quinn Cotton to score the run and put YD on the board.
Just as you mentioned, a great piece of hitting, just taking it down the right field line. Cotton could spray it all over the yard. We just see it with that 390 average he had this year at GCU. As Matt Dyer, the cleanup hitter, will ground the first pitch to third base. Levy will fire on over to second and Aldretti and get Cotton at first base, but not before YD. He gets on the board with a Quinn Cotton RBI single here in the top of the third inning. We will head to the bottom half of the frame. Orleans leading it 2-1. You are listening to the YD Red Sox on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Pretty child under 14 years old. Please take a moment to think about the value of coming out here tonight to see this game and realize you didn't pay anything for parking or admission. We put some money in the hat on the way in on one of the tables. When you walked in, we thank you. We also appreciate any donations that you get from the collection. Firebirds are a nonprofit organization, and we depend on your help to raise the funds necessary to maintain this field and keep the franchise running. We are run entirely by volunteers and need as much help as you can get. Thank you.
Whitey gets a run back in the top half of the third inning, and now Brent Teller out there to try and get a shutdown inning and keep the momentum on YD's side. 9-1-2 due up for the Firebirds here in the bottom half of this third inning. Ricky Martinez, the shortstop, Brandon White, the center fielder, and Matt Frazier, the right fielder.
Ricky Martinez.
Some action out in the YD bullpen with a right-hander throwing here as we begin the bottom of the third.
Might be Teller's last inning on the bump. The wind in the first pitch to Martinez. He shows bunt, pulls back, and that's down and inside for ball one. 1-0 the count. Martinez out of Sacramento State, just finished up his freshman season there. 54 games, hit .296, 11 RBIs, 28 runs scored, 3 stolen bases. The next pitch will miss just below the knees, and the count 2-0 on Martinez. Lineup turns over with the man standing on deck and Brandon White. Here's the wind and the 2-0. Swing and a miss from Martinez, and Teller gets strike back. It's now 2-1.
And Teller just so far tonight, working from behind so much.
I want to see him get ahead of a few more hitters, prevent these hitter-friendly counts. That next pitch is fouled straight back to the road behind us. And the count now evens at 2-2 here at Eldridge Park. Down the third base line is parallel with the road that curves off once left field ends, but a little danger for the cars. The baseball flying everywhere as the next pitch is fouled straight back to the backstop. The count stays at 2-2.
Through 2+ innings work, that's already pitch number 47 here for Teller.
Teller winds, and the 48th pitch of the evening on the way will be fouled up and out of play along the first base side again. And the count. And a nice catch by a fan there along the first base line. Rousing cheers from the locals here in Orleans. Here's the wind and the 2-2 again. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, the home plate umpire, John Leeds, said he went around. The second strikeout of the evening for Brent Teller. That'll turn the lineup over. The center fielder, Brandon White. Like a nice changeup there from Teller. So White, the center fielder, who singled the lead off this game, came around to score on the Logan Wyatt home run. Wind in the first pitch will hit Wyatt right in the back. And for the second time tonight, White will reach first base. Like that one just got ahead of him. Just got out of Teller's control. And that will bring up Matt Frazier, the right fielder.
And for Teller again, as opposed to falling behind a guy, first pitch you plunk him. Certainly not the way to do things as he's nearing his 50th pitch.
Now in will step Matt Frazier, the right fielder. Popped out to the shortstop Waddell his first time up, and he'll swing at the first pitch and foul it down the first base side. Count now 0-1. Teller finally ahead of a hitter here. Frazier swinging at the first pitch. Now out of the stretch, Teller peeks back at the runner at first. He'll wind and fire home the 0-1. That one is lined over Matt Dyer's head at first and into right field for a base hit. Rounding second, heading to third is White. He is flying. Going for second is Frazier. He's in there. The ball will get away from Jimmy Govern at second base, but backing up is Quintana. The runners stay at second and third, but just like that with one out, Orleans threatening runners on second and third.
And Frazier just off the end of the bat, barely able to get it over the head of Dyer for the single, and then Quinn Cotton for the second time this season, just kind of overrunning a ball, having to stop, turn back, and get that one. Should be an error there, allowing Frazier to go to second base.
So that'll be an E9 on Quinn Cotton. We'll mark it up on the scoreboard, and Freesh out to have a conversation with his pitcher and Teller.
Yeah, I said Ducks on the phone the first time.
As Brandon mentioned, Red Sox warming up in the bullpen, but it's kind of hard to tell from where we are standing. Freesh out there to calm down the right-hander in Teller. Orleans threatening here in the bottom of the third inning. Bring up the three-hole hitter, Jax Groshans. 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs, yes, on opening day against Harwich, and a 3-2 Harwich victory. Orleans losing on opening day. First pitch, a swing and a miss at a ball in the dirt. Looked like he might have fooled him with that changeup again. Count no balls and 1 strike. Struck out swinging his first at-bat of the game. First strikeout victim of Teller's evening. Teller comes set. This time is called from the home plate umpire, John Leeds. Groshans will step out, now step back in. Teller comes set again. Runners on at second and third. Here's the next pitch on the way. Fouled straight back, and the count quickly 0-2 on Groshans.
Teller finally able to kind of get ahead somebody in a great spot here with just it out. You need to get another one right here, and preferably by the strikeout.
White the runner on first. Frazier the runner on second. One out here, bottom of the third inning. Orleans threatening. Already up 2-1. Teller comes set. Here's the 0-2 offering. That'll be high for ball, 1-0. 1-2 the count. Groshans steps out, steps back in, taps his bat twice on home plate. Teller comes set again. Here's a 1-2 offering. Swing, and that's grounded out to third. Quintana will come home with it. The tag by Freesia is in time for the out. A split-second decision by Nick Quintana deciding to come home. It was not a force play, but a good throw and a quick tag by Vito Freesia behind home plate, and Whitey prevents the run and gets the out. Now runners on the corners. Frazier moves over to third. Groshans advances to first, but now 2 down.
I think that was the right play there by Nick Quintana. He was already even with the bag, came up to the cutout, fielded, fired home, and Freesia able to apply the tag with just an arm.
Now here steps Logan Wyatt, the man responsible for the 2-run home run, as there's a ball in the dirt. Gets away from Freesia, the runner from first. That is Groshans, advances to second. Frazier stays put at third. Logan Wyatt parked one way over the right center field fence, almost reaching the parking lot. That home run in the first inning. Way over the head of Quinn Cotton and right, as there's a pitch out, and they're going to just intentionally walk Wyatt here with the base open at first. And standing on deck is Carter Aldretti, the second baseman, who flew out to Ashford in the first inning. And a more favorable matchup for Teller, being a right-on-right matchup. And here's the fourth ball. Wyatt will take his base. And in steps Aldretti. Mentioned the sophomore infielder from Arizona State. 0 for 3 with the strikeout on opening day against Harwich. It's flown out to Ashford back in the first inning. Aldretti steps in from the right side, open stance, bat resting on his shoulder. Teller comes set, bases full of Firebirds. Here's the first pitch. It's low and inside for a ball. 1-0 the count. That will be Frazier leading off of second. Groshans leading off, Frazier leading off of third. Groshans leading off of second, and Wyatt leading off of first. Here's the 1-0. That'll catch the inside corner for a strike. 1-1 the count.
Huge for Teller here to even up that count, not fall behind 2-0.
Aldretti back in the batter's box. Orleans still threatening here, yet to scratch a run across in the bottom of the third inning. 2-1 in favor of the Firebirds. Teller will step off and look all the runners back. Do that fake third to first pickoff, but no one going anywhere.
He had Wyatt leaning for a second over there at first base, but not enough to even draw a throw.
And Dyer not covering the bag over there at first. Teller coming set. Here's the 1-1 on the way. That'll miss inside. It's the plate by a couple inches. Count now in favor of Aldretti. It's 2-1. Back in the first inning, in case you missed it, Logan Wyatt, a 2-run home run. And the top of this third inning, Quinn Cotton, an RBI single into right field. The scoring here so far. Here's the 2-0. That one is cracked down to third, past Quintana, and down into the left field line. Scoring is Frazier. Scoring is Grosjean. Holding at third is Wyatt. Stopping at second is Carter Aldretti. A 2 RBI double, and the Firebirds take a 4-1 lead.
And just going right down the left field line, past the diving Nick Quintana, who's only really a step and a dive, maybe 2 steps off of that line, and that might do it here for Brent Teller.
As out comes Coach Scott Pickler to get his right-hander. He has seen enough after 2 2/3 innings. So we'll have a replacement come in out of the YD bullpen. We'll get all that information to you when we see it. You're listening to the YD Red Sox and the Cape Cod Baseball League Network pitching change upcoming here at Eldredge Park.
Your attention please, now pitching for YD from the University of San Diego, number 18, Justin Friedman.
He gave up 4 hits. Yeah, 4 earned. No,
Justin Friedman,
Friedman, thank you.
San Diego.
Welcome back to Eldredge Park. Firebirds 4 and YD. Do you want to talk about his stats or you want me to? Right. Quiet on third. Now a new pitcher in the ball game. And Brent Tellers 4 hits.
Back inside Eldredge Park. Two runs already across for Orleans in the bottom of the 3rd inning, and 2 more out in scoring position with 2 outs. Brent Teller's night is done. 2 2/3 innings pitched, 4 hits, 4 runs allowed, and 2 more that are his responsibility on the base paths. 1 walk and 2 strikeouts for the junior out of Sacred Heart, and replacing him now, the right-hander out of the University of San Diego, Justin Friedman.
Friedman this past season and 20 appearances, 4 starts, collected a 1-3 record and a 7.41 ERA. A transfer from Ventura College here, certainly with something to prove with the YD Red Sox.
Well, he's got a tough task ahead of him. It's 2 on and 2 out here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. James Free, the catcher, stepping in. He flew out to Zach Ashford to lead off the 2nd inning for the Firebirds, batting in back-to-back innings so far here. 2 runs across here in the bottom of the 3rd inning on the Carter Aldretti 2 RBI double just before the break. Friedman comes set, working out of the stretch. His first pitch on the way. That'll miss down and away for ball 1, 1-0 the count. Friedman comes into the stretch, getting his sign from Freesia. Runners leading off of 2nd and 3rd. Line, and here's the 1-0. That'll catch the inside corner for a strike. 1-1 the count. The lone YD run coming on Quinn Cotton's RBI single back in the top half of this inning. But Brent Teller unable to record that shutdown inning to keep the momentum with YD. And now out of the ball game, and here's Friedman, and that is grounded out to the second baseman, Govern. He will fire on over to first in time for out number 3, but not before a Carter Aldretti 2 RBI double extends the Firebird lead here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. We'll head to the top half of the 4th. Orleans leading YD 4-1. You're listening to YD Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Even have ice cream, saltwater taffy, and with 30 flavors of homemade fun. Remember, you can always find it at McDonald's. It's always ahead at Orleans Cedars on 18 Old Colony Way here in sunny Orleans. Open Sundays a week, 9:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. for all your super needs. Our Sunday dinner is a home run for this one. Featuring local lobsters, clams, mussels, corn, and Lisa. Check out our review specials on the freshest native seafood available direct from local fishermen. It's a CA. Put on the hit run with a fresh homemade rock and roll to go. Served hot or cold. And our crew at Only Seafood, 512-255-7631, to place your order. Also find us on the web at www.seafoodseafood.com. Your attention please, now pitching for the Firebirds from West Virginia, number 19, Isaiah Kern.
Top of the fourth inning, YD trailing Orleans by a score of 4-1. 5, 6, and 7 due up for YD. Adam Kerner, Nick Quintana, and Vito Fresia. The starter for Orleans, Adam Abbott, his night is done. 3 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run. No walks and 2 strikeouts. Replacing him is Isaiah Kern, sophomore out of West Virginia. 18 stats, 13 appearances, 46 and a third innings pitch, 4.27 ERA, 53 strikeouts across 24 walks. Right-hander will face Kerner, Quintana, and Fresia, as I mentioned. Orleans striking for 2 runs in the bottom half of the third inning, extending their lead to 4-1 over these YD Red Sox. Kern's finishing up his warm-up tosses. Throw down to second by Free. This top of the fourth inning about to get underway here at Eldridge Park. YD entering this game a record of 1-0-1, while Orleans a record of 0-1-0. Of course, YD with the tie against Chatham yesterday. Pitching dominated game, quite the opposite of their opening day game. 10-9 win versus the Bourne Braves. In steps Adam Kerner, the freshman catcher out of the University of San Diego. Playing left field for YD tonight. There's a wind to the first pitch from Kearns, almost high and inside for ball 1. 1-0 the count. His first at bat, struck out swinging. Not against Abbott, but for 3 innings, Abbott is done. As we mentioned, majority, mostly a reliever at Virginia. Next pitch will catch the outside corner from Kearns. The count evens at 1-1. It was not a surprise for him to be on an pitch count here in this one. Game number 3 of the Cape Cod League season between the Orleans Firebirds and the YD Red Sox from beautiful Eldridge Park. Here's the next pitch. He'll bounce in there. Get away from the catcher Free. Count now in the favor of Kerner. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Yesterday, only 2 games played across the Cape, YD and Chatham. One of them, the other, Harwich and Wareham. Outside of that, everybody rained out. So this is only game number 2 for the Firebirds.
Sports Firebirds lost by a score of 3-2 to Harwich on opening day. The next pitch is fouled down the first base line. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kerner a little late on that one. So just got it off the end of the bat. Middle of the infield wide open for Kerner. Should he be able to get it past Kearns? Ball will make its way into center field quite easily. Shortstop Martinez playing way over in the hole, as well as already on the other side. Here's a wind in the 2-2. That one is fouled up along the third baseline over the YD dugout.
Looked like
count stays 2-2.
Kerner almost going golfing there, down to get that breaking ball low in the dirt, able to get the end of the bat off it and foul that pitch off.
Nick Quintana waiting on deck, right on the other side of the net from us. Sitting right behind, off to the left of home plate. Wind, and here is the 2-2. That one is hit into the hole at short. A backhand by Martinez. A long throw on over to first. Gets by Wyatt on the bounce. Kerner thinks about going to second, but will retreat back to first as that throw hits that fence behind first base line. And Kerner reaches on. See if they score that a single. I think they do.
Certainly would have been a close play over there at first base, and still waiting to see what the official score will mark that one. But the defense hadn't played perfectly there with the shortstop in the hole. Had to take a few steps to his right and just fire on to first, but the throw low.
So here is Nick Quintana, checked in with his First Cape League hit of the 2018 season, his last time up, a single into right field. Still waiting on a scoring. Official scoring of that. So here's the first pitch. Quintana up there hacking and it fouled straight back. Count is 0-1. Brandon mentioned that was going to be a bang-bang play at first. It's a long throw for Martinez. Skips it in there, but Wyatt just couldn't get the glove on it. So now Kerner leads off of first. Now Quintana steps in. Here's the next pitch. Is popped up behind first in foul territory. Wyatt will watch it go out of play down the first base line.
And Quintana again behind the count. Another opportunity for him to really battle here and put together a good fight. Fight off a couple pitches, and so far I've been impressed by the eye that he has at the plate, especially when he has been getting behind. He's not going out of the strike zone to chase much.
He chases. That will lead to more strikeouts as we've seen his struggles. So when he's locked in the strike zone, then it's trouble for opposing pitchers. Pitch will miss inside for a ball. 1-2 the count on Quintana. Quintana stands at 5'10". Might not look like a guy who possesses the most power in the world, but when he puts barrel on ball, the ball goes a long way. Kern set in the stretch. He'll throw on over to first. Kerner dives back in time. Wyatt applies the tag, but Kerner back in time. Quintana will step back in. Slightly open stance. Brings the bat back across his shoulder. Kern set. Here's the 1-2. Fouled straight back again. Looks like Quintana is just missing these pitches. He's not off them by much. Looks like he's on time a lot more than he seemed in the first couple of games.
And that all comes back to having the wood bat. That makes a big difference for some of these guys. And as you see them collect more at bats, get more comfortable up there at the plate, can make all the difference.
Kearns is set. Here's a 1-2. Swing and a miss for strike three. Quintana chases out of the strike zone and strikes out right there. Like a changeup down and inside, almost at his feet. And there's out number one here in the fourth.
And that's just why it's so difficult when you're down 0-2, battle a bit. But if you get fooled by a pitch, it's not much.
Now here is the catcher, Vito Freesia, up for his second plate appearance of the night. He singled in his first plate appearance as well. First pitch is fouled straight back. Count 0-1. Getting a bit darker here at Eldridge Park, but unlike Red Wilson Field in Yarmouth, we do have lights here. So we'll be playing into the night if necessary. Stun still setting beyond out in right field. Current set. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Miss low for a ball. 1-1 the count. We've not seen Kearns attempt to steal so far. Of all the catchers on this roster, he would look like the guy that would have the most speed. Standing at maybe 5'10", 190 pounds. Kearns comes set. Here's a 1-1. Fouled off the foot of Freesia. Now 2 strikes on the Whitey backstop. It is 1-2. The hill is maybe halfway filled down the first base line here at Eldridge Park. Not the most packed you'll see this hill during the summer. So we start getting into July. Things will start to pick up. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. There's that changeup again. Went right back to it, and Freesia goes fishing at the bottom of the strike zone and strikes out. There's 2 down here in the fourth.
It just kind of falling off there. That pitch starts at the knees and falls down to about the shoe tops there.
Kel Emshoff, the designated hitter, looking to, we have a pinch hitter for YD.
I think we have Matt Toke stepping into the left-handed batter's box for the Red Sox.
Yeah, it will be Matt Toke out of Seton Hall. Pinch hitting for Kel Emshoff. Joff ends his evening, grounding out to shortstop his first time up. Current set, here's the first pitch. That'll catch the outside corner for a strike.
Especially early in this season with some temporary players, you're going to see Scott Pickler rotating guys in, making sure they're getting some at-bats and getting some looks while they're on the Cape.
So Toke batting from the left side to get advantage against Kearns. Here's the next pitch. It's grounded up the middle. Martinez on a bounce will fire on over to first. And just in time. That throw looked like Martinez hesitated a little bit at shortstop. I thought he got the throw off on the first time, but it's like he double pumped there, and the throw just ahead of Toke hustling down the first base line. Whitey scoreless here in the top of the fourth inning. We will head to the bottom half of the frame. Orleans leading the Red Sox 4-1. You're listening to Whitey Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Stop by your neighborhood Ace today for the products that help you need or your job done when you first. East Hardware is located at 4205 State Highway. Over day 7:35 and Sunday from 10-3. Brand name you trust or people you trust. Only at Ace, the helpful place. East Hardware raised over $50,000 last year for Boston Children's Hospital.
Elliot. Sounds good. I can hear you. Matt, thanks. I can hear you too. I can hear all of you. That's true. Steve here. Yeah.
Bottom half of the fourth inning. Orleans leading YD by a score of 4-1. Justin Friedman at the University of San Diego is still on the mound for YD. To bat for the Firebirds, Kevin Milam popped out to the shortstop. Luke Waddell, his first time up. Friedman out of the windup now will fire home his first pitch. A swing and a miss by Milam. Quickly 0-1 on the designated hitter for Orleans today.
Dialed up that high fastball. Milam just couldn't catch up to it.
A two-way player. We're going to might see him pitch here tonight. Was listed on Point Streaks as one of the guys who might pitch for Orleans tonight. As that pitch will miss outside for ball one. 1-0 the count. His 2018 stats quite impressive. 14 appearances, 13 starts, a 6-4 record, 82 2/3 innings pitched, 3.63 ERA, 81 strikeouts, opposed to just 25 walks. That's just on the mound. Here's the wind of the next pitch from Friedman. That'll catch the inside corner for a strike, and the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hit .313 at the plate. Hit .313, 12 home runs, 55 RBIs, 14 doubles.
That's why he's going both ways, successful on the mound and successful at the plate.
Here's the wind and the 1-2. That one is dribbled back to Freeman, fields it, runs towards first, an underhand toss to Matt Dyer covering the bag, and a quick out number 1 here in the fourth.
It's been quick work for Justin Friedman out of the pen, coming in with 2 men on and 2 outs in the last inning. And now here a quick and easy out for Friedman.
That'll bring in Justin Levy, the third baseman. Grounded right back to the pitcher at the time. That was Brent Teller to end the second inning. Here's a wind in the first pitch. That one is lined on a rope into center field. Playing over in the right center field gap was Ashford. He has to go get it. Rounding first, heading to second is Levy. He will get in there in time. A 1-out double for Justin Levy, catching the Red Sox sleeping there a little bit on defense, and a runner in scoring positions for the Firebirds.
And they're to no fault of really YD's defense, just the positioning, having Ashford over there shaded over a little more toward right field. And that one just absolutely on a line, a laser beam into the left center field gap.
Kind of took off when it hit the grass, and mentioned playing over in right center field was Ashford. He had a little bit to go to get to that ball, so he would have been playing in that area had he been playing straight up, but instead it results in an Orleans double and a runner in scoring position. Here is Ricky Martinez, the shortstop. He struck out to lead off the third inning. That 2-run third inning where the Firebirds tacked on 2 more runs. Here's the wind in the next pitch from Friedman. And it'll miss down for a ball. 2-0 the count. So we've seen Whitey pitchers constantly having to work from behind tonight. Teller for the first 2 2/3. Now we have Friedman doing that here. Martinez, a temp player here out of Sacramento State. Just finished up his freshman campaign. Friedman will step off and look the runner back to second in Levy. Clouds overcast here, but the sun's still poking through out beyond the right field fence, as well as the lights here at Eldridge Park, making it a beautiful night for baseball. A slight wind. So that next pitch from Friedman will miss low for a ball. 3-0 the count. Wind gusting a lot around the ballpark. We have wind in our face, but out in the outfield, the flag is slightly blowing from right to left field. So wind in the 3-0. It'll miss down and away for ball 4, and the lineup turns over now with Martinez reaching on the walk.
You never want to see your pitcher walking the 9-man. You want to see him attack that 9-hitter right there. And now with 2 men on and just an out, as you mentioned, that lineup flips over.
Yeah, if there's guys you want to pitch around, those are the guys coming up right now. Brandon White, the center fielder, stepping to the plate. He's reached base both times so far tonight. Reached in the first inning, led off the game with a single, came around to score on the Logan Wyatt 2-run home run as he's up there swinging at the first pitch, fouls it straight back and out of play.
And with the foul ball, able to get ahead of a hitter here. I think that's been so important. When we've seen YD pitchers succeed, they've pitched ahead, but they're, Brent Teller, prime example, giving up 4 runs. He's just been behind all game long.
Runners on at first and second. Only 1 out here, bottom of the 4th inning. So the next pitch from Friedman, a curveball will just miss high and outside for a ball. 1-1 now the count. White also reached on a hit by pitch in the 3rd inning. Right-handed hitter, open stance. Moving that bat out away from his body. Here's another curveball from Friedman. It'll catch the inside corner. And back ahead, the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Just caught him buckling a bit, backing out with the shoulders out and bending at the knees, and that one just snapped and whipped in and caught the inside corner.
Friedman probably looking to pitch at the bottom of the strike zone right now. Get an inning-ending double play to one of his middle infielders. Here's the next pitch. Just misses the inside corner. Freesia held it there for a little bit, trying to get the call from home plate umpire John Leeds, but could not get the call. That evens up the count at 2-2.
A fastball about letter high, must have just missed.
Friedman staring in at his catcher, Freesia. He gets the sign. 2-2 on the way from the right-hander. Fouled straight back. And the count will remain the same, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Standing on deck, the right fielder, Matt Frazier. He reached his last time up on a single and an error by Quinn Cotton. Allowed him to reach second base. Here's the 2-2 again. Swing and a miss. A high fastball from Friedman just challenged him at the top of the strike zone. And there's 2 down. That's a big out there for Justin Friedman. 2-hole hitter Matt Frazier due up now.
I didn't think there was any surprise seeing Friedman go with that fastball. He seemed like he was just overpowering Brandon White and able to do it again there with the high fastball.
So in steps Frazier, outfielder from the University of Arizona. As mentioned, has reached once today. Runners on at first and second. 2 outs here, bottom of the 4th inning. Orleans a 4-1 lead. Here's the first pitch. A curveball had him guessing at that one, and strike 1.
Another nasty breaking ball there that just dipped down and disappeared into the dirt, and Frazier just couldn't hold up his swing.
It's like Friedman had Frazier guessing fastball, but got the curveball. He's set. Here's the 0-1. Got him again. Here's strike 2. Looking for another fastball, and Friedman was like, I'm just going to throw a curve there at you. And quickly, Friedman is a strike away from getting out of this inning. Stares in at Freesia. come set. Runners take their leads from first and second. Here's the 0-2. Catches the outside corner, strike three. What a job of getting out of that inning by Justin Friedman. He strikes out his second batter in a row as we head to the top of the fifth inning. The Firebirds a 4-1 lead over the YD Red Sox. You're listening to YD Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Don't go anywhere.
Located at 5 Route 6A, just down the street here in Orleans. The next turns up fresh homemade burgers, lobster rolls, fish tacos, and onion rings, homemade milkshakes, and hot rolls. Fanatic is proud to support the hometown team. This is a proud to support the hometown butcher and fisherman by buying fresh and local every day. So put an exclamation point on your summer day and head over to the Knack for the type of food that hits the spot after a day of summer sun. Now let's go Firebirds and hit one over the Knack up your banners.
So grounded out to the pitcher, right? Oh, what is this? Yes.
9-1-2 due up for the Red Sox here in the top of the fifth inning. They trail the Firebirds by a score of 4-1. Waddell, the shortstop, will lead it off for the Red Sox. His first at-bat was hit by a pitch to lead off the third inning. On the mound, still for the Firebirds, is Isaiah Kern. There's a wind in the first pitch from the righty. He'll be fouled up along the third base line, out onto the street for strike one.
Just missing a car passing by a road running directly behind the field, behind home plate and up the third base side.
I'm thinking that we're going to see at least one car getting hit with a ball. Got to be careful as you drive past Eldridge Park. Here is Waddell shows to bunt. Another ball fouled back onto the street. And the count is 0-2. Showed bunt right there, but just popped it up foul straight behind the plate.
YD finding themselves in a lot of 0-2, 1-2 counts so far throughout the first 4+ of this ball game.
The Firebirds pitcher is doing a much better job of just going right after these YD hitters. Next pitch missed down and inside for ball one. 1-2 the count. I think he might have gone to the changeup right there. Good job by Waddell laying off that one. Climbs back into the left-handed batter's box. The wind, and here's the 1-2. That one is cracked foul again down the third base line. Couldn't tell if that one got back onto the street, but count will remain the same. 1 ball and 2 strikes. When picking up a little bit here at Eldridge Park. Hill filled up a little bit more. Still about 50% full on down the first base line. Of course, the hill there instead of the bleachers is Waddell swing and miss at the next pitch for strike 3. Looked like a changeup on the outside corner. And there's out number 1 here in the fifth.
Waddell looking fooled up there, trying to protect and go after that one off speed on the outer third of the plate.
The lineup turns over for YD. Here's Zach Ashford. Ashford reached on a fielder's choice and came around to score YD's only run of the ball game last time up. So wind in the first pitch from Kern. Swing and a foul off the foot of Ashford. Looked like he might have fouled that off his back foot. Left-handed batter's box, that would be his left. Count 0-1. For YD, a run on 4 hits and 1 error here in the top of the fifth. For the Firebirds, 4 runs on 5 hits and no errors. Ashford climbs back in the batter's box. Kern working out of the windup. Here's the next pitch on the way. That'll catch the corner at the knees, the inside corner. And a quickly 0-2 on Ashford. Kern right back on the rubber. He's working fast. Here's the 0-2. He'll be grounded up the middle off the glove of Kern, and it will dribble out behind the mound, and Ashford is safe at first. Kern just could not get the handle on the baseball, and a backhand skips over his glove, over the mound, and an infield single for Zach Ashford.
And there for Kern, so difficult as a pitcher when you finish and you land there and plant, then to have a ball come right back at you. You almost had to be a first baseman to try to pick that ball on a short hop, wasn't able to do so.
Here's Jimmy Govern, the shortstop. He's grounded out and flown out in his 2 plate appearances today, 0 for 2. Fast runner in Ashford leading off of first. First pitch swinging, grounds it over to third. A bobble over there by Levy. He's going to have to throw on over to first. It will be no throw. Govern is safe at first.
And Levy tried to go back in with that ball coming up the third base line. Fielded cleanly, went to grab it from the glove, bobbled, and fell back into the dirt.
That is going to be an error on Levy. And Orleans Firebirds giving the Red Sox some runners here in the top of the 5th inning. A couple of balls that could have been turned into outs are result in YD base runners. And now the guy you want at the plate, Quinn Cotton, stepping in. He's driven in the only run for YD so far today, an RBI single. Back in the 3rd inning. There's a line to the first pitch. A swing and a miss by Cotton. The count quickly 0-1. Ashford leading off of second. Govern leading off of first. Quinn Cotton at the plate looking to chop away at that lead that Orleans has. And another pitch, a swing and a miss by Cotton, and the count is 0-2.
And again, another YD hitter having to protect here up at the plate, fight, and really battle.
So Kern back in the stretch. YD looking to chip away at that lead that Orleans has for themselves. 4-1 working here in the top of the 5th. 1 out. On deck stands Matt Dyer. Here's a wind in the 0-2. That one is sliced foul, just foul down the first base line.
The protection hack there from Cotton, just kind of throwing the bad head out there, slapping it away.
Got a high fastball and was a little late on it, almost able to guide it fair down the first base line, but not quite. Count still 0-2. Cotton having to protect with 2 strikes. Kern peeks back at the runner. Here's the 0-2 on the way. On a check swing foul ball straight back.
And that bat only went out probably to the inside corner of the plate there. Didn't even really get a check swing, with that ball coming up high and tight. Just grabbed the bat head.
Cotton getting another chance with that foul ball right here. Puts bat back on his shoulder. Kern comes set. Looks back at the runner, Ashford again, and fire home the next pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Ashford swings over the top of a changeup. He's gotten Cotton with that pitch 3 times in that at-bat. And now 2 down.
And Cotton there just had, when you're down with 2 strikes, as we've said throughout this broadcast, you have to protect. And they're getting what looked like a changeup, something off speed, while it was over the heart of the plate. Just dropped off a bit, and the change in speed was enough to have Cotton swing over top.
Now here's Matt Dyer. Make this inning not a waste for YD. Runner still on at first and second. His first pitch, a high fastball, will miss for ball 1. Now, when we say high fastball, the strike zone expands a little bit on Dyer, standing at 6'5", 200 pounds. Listed as a catcher, but playing first base tonight for Scott Pickler. Kern in the stretch again. Here's the 1-0. That'll miss down and away for ball 2. That'll catch the corner for a strike. The count is even at 1-1. So a semi-favorable count for Matt Dyer to put a ball in the outfield. Potentially score a YD run. Here's the 1-1. That one is cracked down the third base line. Fair and into the corner. Rounding third and heading home is Ashford. Govern is willing. He hits the bag at third and will stop right there. Matt Dyer, an RBI double as he salutes his teammates from second base, and YD draws closer. It is now 4-2 Orleans.
And another huge 2-out hit for YD. We saw Quinn Cotton coming up big with the 2-out RBI single down the right field line. This one down the left field line and going in toward the BP cage that Orleans stores down out of play in that left field line. Not much that Groshans could do there to get that ball in, but a nice piece of hitting, doing what you can, but not trying to do too much from Dyer.
2 runners in scoring position for Adam Kerner. See if he can keep this inning going. Matt Dyer, a 2-out RBI double. Something Whitey desperately needed. Draw closer to Orleans. Here's the first pitch, is high for ball 1, 1-0 the count. Should Kerner reach, Nick Quintana stands on deck. A right-handed hitter steps back in the batter's box. 2 runners in scoring position for him. Govern at third, Dyer at second. So next pitch, that'll bounce in there, blocked by Free behind home plate. And the count now 2 balls and no strikes. Favorable count here for Kerner, something we haven't seen a lot of tonight for YD.
Brandon White in center field, fairly shallow here for Orleans. If Kerner can get a hold of one, power it over the head of White to clear the bases.
We saw him hit a homer out to dead center at Red Wilson Field on opening day. Maybe channel a little bit of that. Here's the next pitch, fouled straight back and out of play onto the street behind Eldridge Park. And the count now 2 balls and 1 strike. There's a lot of room out in the right center field gap should he choose to shoot it over Carter Aldretti's head at second. Center fielder White playing straight away, and the right fielder Frazier playing protecting the line. Here's the 2-1. Miss high for ball 3, 3-1 the count.
And here one of just a few favorable counts that YD has had so far tonight. So Kerner's got to really pick out that pitch, not chase anything, especially trailing here by 2.
And especially with the man on deck and Nick Quintana possessing the power he does. Here's the 3-1. Fouled straight back and out of play by Kerner. Another protective swing. And the count now full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. So umpire will get new baseballs from the bat boy for Orleans. 3 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs here. Top of the 5th inning. Orleans leading YD 4-2. But YD threatening here. Runners on at second and third. Here's a full count offering to Kerner. That one is looped out into shallow left field, still on the infield. The third baseman, Lavy, will get underneath it and squeeze it for out number 3. YD can't cash in with runners on at second and third. They do get 1 run, though. And the RBI double by Matt Dyer. We will head to the bottom of the 5th inning. YD trailing by a score of 4-2. You're listening to the YD Red Sox on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Yeah. Everything's great. So we get this. You got the headset, don't you? Yeah, the ball comes right back here. We're going to actually have to
Kids, get out your green raffle ticket for the autographed baseball. As we walk around. You ready?
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Winning number is 647 4 1 2 3. 647 4 1 2 3. You have that number, come on up to the announcement booth, and I will give you your autographed baseball.
So you're just going to take it? No, I didn't talk a lot with Danny yesterday. Like during my color, I didn't do enough. So I'm just trying to do as much.
Home half of the 5th inning, 4-2 Orleans, and now we're joined. It's a great honor to be joined by our sideline reporter, Ellie Abkabai. How are you tonight, Ellie?
Fantastic.
Bottom of the 5th at Eldridge Park, and a 4-2 lead for the Orleans Firebirds over the YD Red Sox. Brandon Pelter with TJ Mathewson here with you. It's been a good one so far, but early offense has spurred the Firebirds, and they have the lead. Still facing Justin Friedman out on the mound for the Red Sox here in the bottom of the 5th inning, and 3-4-5 due up for Orleans, starting with Jax Groshans. 0 for 2 so far tonight, but reached and scored on a fielder's choice back in the bottom of the 3rd. Groshans from Kansas finished hitting over 300 this season. The right-hander steps in. Friedman winds and deals. First pitch. Breaking ball stays upstairs and misses.
Well, when Friedman was at his best in the bottom of the fourth inning. We saw him really use that fastball. He's probably going to want to go back to it here in the bottom of the fifth inning.
1-0 on its way. A check swing. First base umpire says yes, he did. That's Tyler Bullock up the line at first on another breaking ball that just swept outside and below the knees. So 1-1, no outs here in the bottom of the fifth. The 4-2 lead for the Firebirds, the 1-1. Swung on and missed in the dirt, and Friedman ahead, a ball and 2 strikes.
Well, here I am talking about fastballs, and Friedman, that was a nice changeup or curveball, whatever that was right there. The bottom just fell right out of it. Scott Grosjean swinging right over the top of it.
Right-hander winds and delivers the 1-2. Swung on and driven out to deep left field. Back is Kerner. Looking up, it's gone. A solo shot for Jack Grosjean, and he gives Orleans a 5-2 lead.
Well, Friedman just went back to that curveball one too many times, hung it right at the belt, and Grosjean did not miss it this time. A towering home run out to left field, and as Whitey gets a run back in the top half of the frame, the lead extends right back to 3 with this solo home run from Grosjean.
Grosjean's his second home run of the season as the lefty Logan Wyatt settles into the left-handed batter's box. 5-2 lead for the Firebirds, bottom 5, the pitch. Fastball stays up and away. Orleans playing in just game number 2 tonight, rained out last night. For the Red Sox, this game number 3. Friedman winds and delivers the 1-0. Breaking ball drops in for a strike at the knees, and the count evens, a ball and a strike. No outs in the bottom of the fifth, and a 5-2 lead for the home team Firebirds here in their home opener. Friedman kicks, deals the 1-1. Breaking ball stays up and away. Friedman hung that curveball there that Grosjean's absolutely hammered to left and just missed with another there. The 2-1 from the right-hander. Fastball that misses inside, and now Friedman behind yet again. 3 balls and a strike here with no outs in the bottom of the fifth. Logan Wyatt at the plate.
Well, the Red Sox intentionally walked Wyatt back in the third. Got to be careful with him right here, knowing the damage he did in the first.
3-1, swung on 2 bounces to the first baseman there. Dyer, he'll take it himself. Or the first out, that one stayed right along the first base line, and Dyer didn't have to go far to make that play.
Well, that looked like a fastball right in that lefty sweet spot, right down and in around the knees, that they can just drop the barrel on it with the left-handed swing, but that one just rolled over right to Dyer at first. An easy trot over to first base and 1 out.
With 1 away, here's Carter Aldretti. 5-man in this lineup. 2 RBI double with the bases loaded. Earlier tonight, the first pitch, a fastball stays upstairs. Aldretti came up after Wyatt was intentionally walked to load up the bases. He took advantage. The 2-out double down the left field line, plating 2. Here's the 1-0. Laser straight fastball that misses low on the outer third. And Friedman behind again, 2-0 with 1 out here in the bottom of the fifth.
It's just what ASU pitchers, what YD pitchers have been doing so far here today. Really struggling to get in front of these Orleans hitters.
2-0, cut on and missed. Friedman pumped a fastball past Aldretti. Friedman, the right-hander, center of the rubber, pitching from the windup. Kicks and delivers the 2-1. Swung on and grounded up the middle out to base hit into center field, and Aldretti's aboard, his second hit of the evening.
That's the second hit of the inning given up by Friedman. Shortstop Waddell was playing way over in the hole at short. Had he been shaded a little more up the middle, had a chance to get to that one. That one was a really slow roller up the middle, but just finds that hole in the infield. And a runner now for Orleans with 1 out.
Orleans offense that was stagnant in a 3-2 loss on opening night. Hitting below 200 with 7 hits tonight, 5 runs. They lead the Red Sox by 3. Here's James Free. First pitch swinging and drills this one out to deep right center field. Ashford settles under it and makes the catch for the second out.
That looked like it was ticketed for over the fence, but Ashford out to one of the deepest parts of this ballpark in deep right center field, able to catch it, looked like about 5 feet from the fence for a long, loud out number 2. Had we been at Red Wilson, that might have been in the trees.
Usually you'll see an outfield fence make that kind of semicircle, almost a rainbow shape. Here at Eldridge Park, you have 2 straight fences converging out into deep center. That brings up Kevin Milam with 2 away and a runner on the pitch. Fastball just misses low and in. A run already across on the solo home run from Jack Scrotians here in the bottom of the 5th inning, and a 3-run lead for the Firebirds. Here with Milam at the plate and a man aboard, 2 away. The 1-0. Swung on and missed. Breaking ball in the inner third. The count evens at a ball and a strike.
Friedman, we've seen him, a couple of very long, loud fly balls in this inning. Going to want to keep the ball down in the zone. I mentioned challenging up with fastballs, but after seeing these,
so the 1-1 dips low and misses.
Going to want to just, keep the ball down, keep it on the ground, let your infielders make the outs, trust your defense.
Friedman, the right-hander, now from the stretch, and again, kind of straddling the center of the rubber, sets at the belt. And told to step off by Dyer, the first baseman. Free, or rather Aldretti over at first, getting an awful big lead. Friedman back on the rubber. Aldretti out, about a 3-step lead. The 2-1. Swung on and driven down the right field line in foul territory. Cotton gives chase and runs out of room. A young fan slips and picks that ball up. He's got a souvenir, and the count now 2 balls and 2 strikes on Milam.
Mentioned that hill lining the first base side, the Orleans home side where all the fans sit. Cotton was about 2 feet away from running into that to catch that foul ball, but slows up just in time as the ball hits the ground, just not able to get to it.
Aldretti leads off first as Friedman sets. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs the pitch. Swung on, and this one flown out to center field. Ashford a couple steps back, now comes in, and he makes the catch to retire the side, but not before the big fly from Jack Scrotians. Orleans extends their lead through 5. A 5-2 lead for the Firebirds. Whitey coming about here in the top of the 6th.
We're committed to supporting our local communities and helping our customers find solutions to concern development. Dr. The event should be a source of comfort, not concern. And Robin Trust is that. With my own financial business, investment for your future, or managing your everyday banking needs, Robin Trust experienced bankers can help provide you the industry you need to make informed decisions. Go on over and visit Stephen, Tom, or Rick at our Orleans Spring, located at 7 8th Street, or visit one of the more than 80 Rocket Trust bankers.
Oh, yeah.
Or visit our website, rockettrust.com.
New pitcher. Which one? Krista back.
Yeah, I don't have a
Krista, not
winner
Krista.
on that autograph baseball yet. The number was 6474123. This is a free ticket. If I don't have a winner by the next inning, I'm going to draw another number.
Back, top of the 6th inning here at Eldridge Park, 5-2. Isaiah Cruz tonight is done after 2 innings. The new pitcher for the Firebirds is Zach Christopher, a right-hander from the University of Georgia, 5'9", $1.78. Pretty good for Georgia. On the bullpen, 4-2, 4 saves, 3
And welcome back to Eldridge Park. 5-2 lead for the home team. Firebirds here in their home opener tonight. Game 2 for Orleans. Game 3 for the YD Red Sox. And they trail it here in the top of the 6th inning. Brandon Pelter here with TJ Mathewson. And Zach Christofak takes the bump here in relief of Isaiah Kearns, who went 2 innings pitched, 3 hits, and allowed just a run. It's been a good effort so far. Andrew Abbott and Kearns teaming up to allow just 2 YD runs here through 5 innings. And Christofak trying to keep the door shut here in the top of the 6th.
Yeah, just finished up his sophomore season at Georgia, 5'9", 178 pounds. 31 appearances as a reliever, 3.83 ERA, 58 strikeouts across 22 walks, 4 saves for him.
And the right-hander continues, now finishes his warm-up tosses. He'll face first Nick Quintana, the 6th man for the Red Sox. Plenty of pop in the bat. 1 for 2 tonight with his first hit of the summer here with YD. Quintana settles into the right-handed batter's box. Kristofak clears off the rubber with the spikes, the front of the cleats, and now pitching from the stretch here for Kristofak, the reliever. Right-hander set to the belt, kicks and deals. First pitch, swung on and missed. Powered a fastball past Quintana. 5-2 lead for the Firebirds here in the top of the 6th inning. Orleans 5 runs on 7 hits. They made an error. YD 2 runs on 6 hits. They also made a mistake in the field as well. The 0-1 swung on and missed. Another fastball powered past Quintana, and he's in a hole, 0-2.
Oh, this looks like Kristofak's plus pitch. I think this will be a good test for Quintana. Struggle, especially when you're struggling with your swing. Velocity, good velocity will really give you trouble, especially trying to adjust to a wood bat.
Short stocky right-hander sets on the third base side. The 0-2 swung on and lined past the diving third baseman in Justin Levy and into left field. And another 0-2 single here for Nick Quintana. He's got 2 hits today to start out this top of the 6th.
Now, that's really good to see Quintana getting around on that looked like a probably closer to a mid-90s fastball there from Kristofak, just getting around and grounding it past diving third baseman and Levy. And a base runner here for YD with no outs.
And Luke Robinson here to pinch hit for Vito Freesia. Robinson, one of 5 catchers on this YD roster here earlier in the season. As the left-handed pinch hitter waves the bat over home plate. Now digs into that left-handed batter's box. Robinson from Western Carolina at 281 this past season for the Catamounts. First pitch. Waved that and just tapped foul below the mitt of the catcher behind the dish here. That's free. Kristofak sets on the third base side of the rubber. Kicks, here's the 0-1. Swung on and lined foul into the screen behind the plate. Robinson behind a hole here. No balls and 2 strikes with Quintana on first base. Led off this top of the 6th with a single past a diving Levy at third. Quintana leads. Kristofak peers in and gets the sign from Free. Now set to the belt. The 0-2. Swung on and just got a piece of it. Foul in and out of the mitt. And now between the legs of Free, and Robinson stays alive.
That looked like almost a changeup diving out of the strike zone. Robinson just able to get a bat piece of it, keep himself alive in this at-bat.
The Catamount settles into the left-handed batter's box, waves the bat across home plate. Kristofak sets, 0-2. Swung on and nubbed foul. Right out in front of us, up the third base side a bit, just behind home plate. So Robinson keeping himself alive in a battle here. He's behind 0-2. No outs in the top of the 6th. The 5-2 lead for the Firebirds. Quintana leads off first after the leadoff single. Kristofak sets. The right-hander 0-2. Swung on and missed. Powered a fastball past him up at the letters on the outer third, and there's one away here on the top of the 6th.
Well, on the previous pitch, Kristofak's had Robinson guessing fastball and got an off-speed pitch. On that one, it looked like Robinson was protecting for an off-speed pitch and was just going to foul back a fastball, but challenges him with a high fastball up and out of the strike zone, and nothing Robinson can do with that right there.
That brings up Matt Toke, pinch hit for Cale Emshoff. Back in the top of the 4th, takes the first pitch up and in. Quintana still on first base for the Red Sox with one away here in the top of the sixth. YD trails things 5-2 here in the Firebirds home opener. Christofac deals the 1-0, low and in the dirt. Free keeps it in front. Now 2-0. Toke ahead in the count. Toke looking for his first hit of the season. So far 0 for 2 with the Red Sox. The 2-0. Fastball paints the outside corner, called a strike.
I'll be interested to see exactly how hard Christofax is throwing here. His fastball, very, very solid. You wouldn't think he's maybe 5'10", 5'11".
2-1. Fastball called a strike again at the letters. And the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Toke didn't love it. Now takes a moment to reset himself. Taps the bat on the plate and back in the left-handed batter's box. Quintana off first. The 2-2. Swung on and fouled back behind us into the trees across the street. Toke keeping himself alive here. Quintana on first base. 1 out in the top of the sixth. YD trails by 3. Toke at Seton Hall this past season. Early season injury. 2-2. Swung on and tapped up the first base side. Fielded by the first baseman. Wyatt fires to second in time. Back on to first, not in time. Wyatt had to come up the first base line. Fielded that one. Spun and fired to second for 1. The throw back to first, not in time. So Toke reaches on the fielder's choice.
Bang play over there at first. Good job by Wyatt, just coming to get that ball in front of the baseline, turning and throwing to the shortstop Martinez, but the return throw back to Wyatt just not in time to get Toke hustling down the line.
So Toke and Quintana switch places. Here's the 9-man Luke Waddell. 0 for 1 tonight. First pitch, a fastball called a strike at the letters on the outer third. Waddell, another left-handed hitter here for YD. 1 for 4 in this early Cape League season. The 0-1. Breaking ball misses low and away. The count evens, a ball and a strike. With 2 outs here in the top of the sixth. Toke off of first. And YD trails by 3. Christofac, the short, stocky right-hander, set to the belt. Delivers the 1-1. Swung on and chopped to the right side. Wyatt in and out of his glove. Fires to the pitcher at first. The throw goes wide and against the fencing on the first base line. So a throwing error here. Runners advance a base. And it's Toke on third and Waddell on second. We'll see if he's credited for the infield single.
I think that'll be 2 errors on Logan Wyatt at first. The first one on fielding the baseball. He's trying to go with a backhand. Ball goes in and out of his glove and then turns and tries to throw it to first and just throws it away. Waddell advances all the way to second. Quintana all the way to third. Excuse me, that's Toke all the way to third. And YD now threatening here with 2 outs.
That brings up the 1-man, Zach Ashford. Another lefty settles in. And with 2 outs, he's got 2 men in scoring position. Christofac deals. Fastball misses away. YD trails by 3 here in the top of the sixth. Another prime opportunity to cut into the deficit. Ashford wags the bat over his head, the 1-0. Bounces in the dirt, off the face mask of Free, and up the third base side, a wild pitch, and Toke comes in to score. It's now just a 5-3 lead for the Firebirds.
Well, I don't think that Free saw that ball hit his mask, and he was wondering where the ball went as soon as it goes off to his left about 10 feet away. But Toke sees it immediately and trots home to score the third YD run. They're now within 2.
5 runs for Orleans on 7 hits, 3 errors for them. YD, 3 runs on 7 hits. They've made just an error. Ashford pinwheels the bat, settles into the left-handed batter's box. He's ahead 2-0, the pitch. Swung on and tapped foul up the first base side. Waddell over to third base now. And with 2 away, 90 feet away from making this a 1-run ball game.
And Ashford, the tying run, standing at the plate right now.
Ashford has been one of the catalysts here for YD. So far, 1 for 3 tonight. He's scored 2 runs. The 2-1. Fakes a bunt, pulls it back, and a breaking ball drops in across the outer third. Count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs here with Waddell off of third. Christofak, a right-hander, peers in for the signs, sets at the belt on the third base side of the rubber. Kicks and delivers the 2-2. Swung on and chopped to the left side. Fielded in the hole by Martinez. Long throw to first in time to retire the side, but not before the Red Sox get a run back on just a hit. It's 5-3 Firebirds through 5.5 here at Eldridge Park. You're listening to coverage of YD Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Thanks for supporting Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice cold from Cold Products. We're proud supporters of the CCBL as well as many other wonderful Cape Cod organizations that serve our community. Are you an ad or nearing retirement? Then listen to the Ready Set Retire Radio Show Saturdays at 6 p.m. on WXCK 95.1 FM with host Steve Anfield. More details at fairwayfinancial.net.
New pitcher, guys. William Frank.
All right, kids, I didn't have a winner on that autograph baseball, so I got another number here. The green ticket, 647-4132. You have that number, come on up to the announcer's booth and I'll give you the autograph baseball.
Canisius. Yeah. Ready?
Home half of the 6th and a 5-3 lead for the home team Firebirds over the YD Red Sox. New pitcher on for YD, William Frank, out on the mound from Canisius. And some other changes here for the Red Sox as well. Robinson moves over to first base. He came in pinch hitting for Vito Freesia, who was catching. And Matt Dyer moves from first to behind the plate here in the bottom of the 6th.
Oh, and 41 2/3 innings at Canisius College, a 3.02 ERA on the season. 48 strikeouts, opposed to just 20 walks across those 41 2/3 frames.
8-9-1 due up here for the Firebirds as Dyer fires down to second, the final warm-up toss. A 2-run lead for Orleans here in their home opener over the YD Red Sox as the 8-man Justin Levy steps up. Last up doubled into the left center field gap. He'll try to replicate that to lead off this bottom of the 6th inning. Levy settles into the right-handed batter's box. The righty Frank winds and delivers. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball that just fell off the plate from inside to out, sweeping and down at the shoe tops. Levy, the 0-1, ducks out of the way. A breaking ball that stayed inside. Count evens here. Levy leading off the bottom of the 6th. His team leads it 5-3 here in game number 3 for the Red Sox. The right-hander Frank winds, delivers the 1-1. Fastball misses away. Appeal to the first base umpire. Tyler Bullock says no swing, so the count 2-1 here on Levy. The first base side of the rubber, it's Frank. Winds the 2-1. Fastball catches the outside corner. And the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Levy 1 for 2 tonight. Doubled back in the bottom of the 4th. The 2-2. Swung on a protection swing. Slapped foul into the netting on the first base side.
It's going to be interesting to see what Frank goes with here to finish off Levy. We've seen YD pitchers tonight make a few mistakes high, leading to the 2 Orleans home runs. So saw Friedman exploit that part of the zone with his fastball.
As the 2-2 drops out and away and misses, the count runs full 3-2 to leadoff man Levy here in the bottom of the 6th. Lights in full effect here. Nearing 9 o'clock on the Cape. The payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. A fastball beat him on the inner third, and there's one away here in the bottom of the 6th.
Well, I was talking about Friedman attacking the top of the strike zone with this fastball. Frank just goes right at the bottom of the strike zone and gets Levy to swing at it. Just can't catch up to that heat right there. One down for Orleans here in the 6th.
Here's the 9-man, Ricky Martinez, the shortstop for the Firebirds, into the right-handed batter's box. The first pitch. Fastball catches the inside corner, called a strike. Frank on the first base side of the rubber from the windup, the 0-1. Fastball misses up and in. And the count even, a ball and a strike, 1 out. Nobody on here in the bottom of the 6th inning, and Orleans with the 5-3 lead. Early on in the Cape League, the 1-1. Fastball again on the inside part of the plate, called a strike. There's a lot of temporary players here for both squads trying to show what they can before they're sent home. YD expecting a lot more permanent players trickling in throughout the next week. Frank Wines, the 1-2. Called strike 3. Fastball catches the inside corner one more time, and Martinez is set down on strikes.
Well, Frank is really attacking with his fastball. We saw it to Levy, fastball right at the knees. That one just dots the inside corner. Second strikeout in as many batters for him.
Here's the 1-man as this lineup flips around. Brandon White, 1 for 2 so far tonight. Singled in the bottom of the 1st and came around to score. The first pitch. Breaking ball, called a strike. White started to turn into that pitch a bit, and it just snapped back in and caught the corner. Frank Wines, the right-hander, with the 0-1. Another breaking ball, called strike on the inner third, and Frank's feeling it here.
That one just dotting a curveball in the inside corner. Let's see. So you're going to go back to that fastball.
Frank nods the head yes, working from the windup on the first base side of the rubber. The 0-2. Fastball just misses a touch low on the outer third. Maybe by the hair of a whisker.
It's kind of hard to judge where the plate is from where we are sitting. That looked awfully close.
1-2. Off the hands and sent out to the second baseman. Govern retreating. He'll make the catch, and William Frank makes quick work of the Firebirds here in the bottom of the 6th. Through 6 innings at Eldridge Park, a 5-3 lead for Orleans over YD. You're listening to YD Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
That's number 10 is Zach Christopher. That's his son.
Baseball factory is the summer support Cape League for 17 seasons to conduct baseball training, tournaments, and showcases. Yeah. At over 600 organizations.
Yeah, I just think that like literally just fell apart.
Baseball factory.
This was. Right. I'm on my second one. My other one, and that just made it hard for me. I figured that out initially. Using it too hard. I don't know. Really? When you work like that, it's early in the that's the only thing. 5 balls the entire game. Brady coming back in.
Urgent care is now available at 465 healthcare locations. Diana Thomas and Department. Open after hours weekend. Staff by your physician. Expert care when you need it. Learn more at
Ready?
William Frank makes quick work of the Firebirds in the bottom of the 6th. YD trying to cut in a little more to that Firebirds deficit, a 5-3 lead for Orleans over YD. And it's still Zach Christofak throwing on the mound for the Firebirds. Brandon Pelter with TJ Mathewson, game 3 of the Cape League season here for YD. Out to a 1-0-1 start after tying last night with Chatham, a 1-1 game. YD couldn't cash in the bottom of the 9th with the bases juiced and just an out. A failed suicide squeeze due to light, or rather a lack of light at Red Wilson Field, a 1-1 tie. Here's Jimmy Govern, the two-man for the Red Sox in the top of the 7th. Kristofak from the set to pitch. Fastball in the inner third. Called a strike. Govern 0 for 3, reached on an error. Advanced as far as third base. Kristofak on the third base side of the rubber. The 0-1. Swung on in line, foul into the netting behind the plate. Govern in a hole, 0-2. Jimmy Govern, 4 of 9 coming into tonight. Almost a 4 of 12, looking for his first hit of the evening. Kristofak kicks the 0-2. In the dirt, misses low. Govern doesn't even think about it. 1-2, no men on here in the top of the 7th inning. Whitey trailing by 2. Jimmy Govern trying to battle here. He's down on the count, 1-2. Kristofak the pitch. Swung on and belted out to left field, but right at Jack Groshans. And he makes the catch for the first out. Boy, you can't hit that ball much harder, TJ.
Yeah, well, off the bat, you just hear that barrel sound, that just nice crack of the wood bat. Looked like it was going a little further than it actually did. Groshans didn't have to move much, just a few feet to his left to squeeze that one.
That brings up Quinn Cotton with 1 away. Cotton with an RBI single into right field. He's 1 for 3. The pitch. Misses in and a bit low. So Cotton works ahead here, 1-0. Whitey looking for 2 runs here in the top of the 7th inning with 1 away, no men on. Kristofak kicks and deals the 1-0. Fastball, same spot, misses low and in.
You don't really want to put Quinn on if you're Kristofak.
Quinn Cotton, plenty of speed. We've already seen a triple from him. That on opening day for Whitey. As he pinwheels the bat. Now gets settled. Kristofak kicks and deals the 2-0. Swung on and hit on the ground past Wyatt and into right field. And Quinn Cotton aboard with 1 away in the top of the 7th.
Well, just like his RBI single back in the 3rd, just takes that pitch right the other way. Pitch looked like it was on the outer half. A fastball, as we mentioned, from Kristofak, coming in there with some decent velocities. Cotton shortens up, takes the ball the other way out into right field, and a base runner for YD here in the 7th.
13 stolen bases and 18 tries for Quinn Cotton. Might see him on the move here with YD trailing by 2. 1 out in the top of the 7th. It's Matt Dyer at the dish. 1 for 3 so far tonight with an RBI double down the left field line. Righty on righty. Kristofak kicks and deals. First pitch breaking ball dips into the dirt. No swing from Dyer, and he's ahead. Cotton peeks across the diamond at Scott Pickler, the third base coach and field manager. Now leads off first as Dyer settles into the right-handed batter's box. The 1-0. Thought about swinging, held off, but called a strike, and it's 1-1. Dyer taps the bat on the plate, now waves it out in front. Kristofak on the third base side, the 1-1. Misses low. And 2-1 here on Matt Dyer. With Cotton aboard first and just 1 out in the top of the 7th. YD trailing by 2. Kristofak sets at the belt, third base side of the rubber. Short, stocky right-hander delivers the 2-1 up and in tight. And now 3-1 on Matt Dyer, the 4-hitter for the YD Red Sox.
Well, very favorable count for Dyer. And how important is scoring that run in the top half of the 6th inning? Just keeping YD in this game down just 2 runs. Dyer, believe it or not, standing at the plate right now represents the tying run.
Kristofak stepped off, asked for the signs again. Dyer played at Oregon in 2017 and then transferred to Arizona, so sat out this past year. So he calls time and steps out himself. Cotton leads off first. Kristofak sets. The 3-1 breaking ball misses away. And now runners on first and second as Jimmy Free goes out to have a conversation with Zach Kristofak.
Now Adam Kerner, another big opportunity for freshmen from San Diego. Runners are out there. Ball finds a gap. This game could be tied if Dyer gets his wheels on.
Kerner so far today, 1 for 3. Reached on an infield single as now the pitching coach out for the Firebirds, Jamie Quinn, to have a quick chat. The infield comes together. YD with a prime opportunity. Runners on first and second, just an out in the top of the 7th, and they trail by 2.
Left fielder from San Diego, number 2, Adam Kerner.
Oh, here's Adam Kerner from the University of San Diego. Hit .338 this past season. Includes 15 two-baggers. Second on the team in batting average. Kerner settles into the right-handed batter's box. Runners on first and second with just one away. Christofak, the right-hander, peeks at second. The pitch. Fastball misses in tight. Righty on righty matchup. Christofak, the short, stocky right-hander, facing Adam Kerner, the 5'10". Catcher swung on and grounded up the middle. Fielded by the second baseman, Andretti. He'll take it himself, fires to first in time. 4-4-3 the double play, and Christofak works out of some trouble through 6.5. The Firebirds hold the 2-run lead. You're listening to coverage of YD Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. William Frank out for his second inning of work here in the bottom of the 7th inning. His YD Red Sox trail things, though, 5-3. And in that bottom of the 6th inning, a strikeout, swinging, then looking, and a soft line out to the second baseman. He made quick work of the Firebirds for one of the few times tonight.
Yeah, he was using his I was a little surprised. He's mixing up his pitches really well. First is the fastball, dotting it at the knees, and then dotting it inside. And then he's able to show off the command of that curveball. Really an impressive first frame for Frank.
As it stands right now, Brent Teller in line for the loss. If YD can't score a couple, they trail it by 2 in the bottom of the 7th inning at Eldridge Park. Lights in full effect. Nearing 9:10 on the East Coast. Here in Orleans, Massachusetts. And the 2-man, Matt Frazier, steps into left-handed batter's box. Frank winds, and the right-hander deals. First pitch cuts in and misses, 1-0. Frank on the first base side of the rubber, working from the windup.
Arizona 1 for 3 tonight. Singleton Cameron scored back in the 3rd.
The 1-0 to Frazier. Fastball misses the glove of Dyer inside and makes its way to the backstop. 2 balls and no strikes. Frank behind here on the leadoff man, Matt Frazier, in the bottom of the 7th inning. Frazier 1 for 3 so far tonight. Came around to score in the 3rd. The 2-0. Called a strike at the letters. No outs here in the home half of the 7th. Orleans leads YD by 2. The 2-1. Misses down low, and now 3 balls and a strike to Matt Frazier leading off the home half of the 7th.
We saw Frank ahead in a lot of counts in the last frame. Not so much here in the first batter of the 7th.
3-1. Misses up and away, and Frazier walks on 5 pitches to lead off the home half of the 7th. So that brings up Jax Groshans. We saw what he could do back in the bottom of the 5th inning. A solo shot to left field. 1 for 3 so far tonight. He scored twice. And Orleans trying to extend their 2-run lead here in the bottom of the 7th. Frazier leads off first. Frank, the first time tonight, working from the set. Right-hander deals. This one swung on and driven out to deep center field, but Ashford a couple steps back and plenty of room to make that catch as he relays it in. And Frazier back to first, one away.
Yeah, as we keep mentioning, that deep center field keeps coming into play. Kerner, that looked like a deep fly ball that at Red Wilson might have Kerner pressed up against the fence, or perhaps that ball lands beyond the wall back home in Yarmouth. But here in Orleans, 434 out to dead center field, and an easy catch for Zach Ashford.
Logan Wyatt, a lefty, steps in. 1 for 2 tonight. Runner goes. Fire down to second base is in time, and Frazier is caught stealing.
Well, first of all, a perfect pitch to throw on a ball just on the outside corner, about belt high. Dyer able to grab that and a quick release down to second base, throw right on the bag for Waddell to slap the tag down on Frazier.
So Frazier is caught stealing for the second out here in the bottom of the 7th. And an 0-1 count. The breaking ball called a strike on Wyatt, the 0-1. Another breaking ball. This one dips low. Missed on the inner third. Count even at 1-1. Boy, what a different inning we have. A leadoff walk. Deep fly out and the walk erased. The 1-1 bounces in the dirt.
We talk about insurance runs a ton. That could have been one had Frazier reached second, but good job by Dyer.
2-1 fastball misses upstairs, and it's 3 balls and a strike. Frank back to the windup on the first base side of the rubber. Left-hander Logan Wyatt in the driver's seat here. He powered a 2-run home run. 3-1 drops in and into the dirt as Wyatt walks on 5 pitches with 2 away. Carter Aldretti steps up to the plate.
Batting the Firebirds, the second baseman from Arizona State, number 9, Carter Aldretti.
Aldretti ended the YD threat in the top of the 7th inning. The 4-4-3 double play. Backhanded the ball as he was running toward the bag. Stepped on it for 1 and fired to first for 2. Frank back to the set here. The runner on first. The pitch to Aldretti. Called a strike on the inside corner off speed. Wyatt, not necessarily a threat to take off of first. He leads the 0-1. Breaking ball stays upstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike on Carter Aldretti. His father and Uncle Mike combined for 15 years of professional baseball. Now Uncle Mike, first base coach for the A's. The 1-1. Tap foul back to the screen behind the plate. Aldretti takes a lot of that poise from being a part of a major league family to the plate, says his college coach. And that's helped him a lot. Able to stay in control. That from Tracy Smith. The 1-2 swung on and missed, and a breaking ball fooled him. He strikes out, and the side is retired here in the 7th inning. No runs on no hits. 1 man is left on base through 7. The Firebirds lead YD 5-3. You're listening to Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Count on all day, every day. Like the ball falling real chicken. Ordering with fried shrimp. 99 restaurants. Proud sponsor of Cape Cod Baseball. Well, the Firebirds would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of Cape Cod Baseball. From summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off the first. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
2 innings. I think it's relevant. Yeah, I think it's relevant. It's not if you don't perform, you can I don't think it was an earned run, was it?
No.
One strikeout.
You got Smitty Snuff?
Your attention please, now pitching for the Firebirds. From the University of Louisville, number 13.
To the top of the 8th we go at Eldridge Park. 6, 7, 8 due up. Quintana, Robinson, and Toke for the YD Red Sox. They trail it by 2 here against the Orleans Firebirds. Brandon Pelter with TJ Mathewson, a new pitcher for the Firebirds. Chase Smitty from Louisville.
Yeah, just finishing up his sophomore season at Louisville. 22 appearances, 4 starts, a 5-1 record. 43 1/3 innings pitched, a 2.91 ERA, 54 strikeouts across 21 walks.
YD's had opportunities tonight. 3 runs on 8 hits. Firebirds with a 5-3 lead, though. 5 runs on 7 hits. They made 3 errors. And that trend of kind of sloppy baseball here at the start of the summer on the Cape. Some temp players, but also brand new teams coming together.
Yeah, brand new teams. For some of these guys, brand new environments too, playing out in front of the lights and the crowd, and all the pressure on you to perform to try and get a full-time roster spot. Really improve yourself across the board. But as I've mentioned prior to this, YD's still within striking distance in this game, down just 2 runs. And you'll probably see the top of the lineup up at least one more time for YD before this game is over.
And another game, second in a row, of plenty of opportunities for the Red Sox. In the 7th, 2 men on with just an out before Kerner grounded into the double play. As Nick Quintana steps in to face Smitty. Tall right-hander, winds and delivers a fastball that misses low. Smitty listed at 6'5", 215, and he looks all of it. Winding up from the first base side of the rubber, the 1-0. Misses outside. James Free at the backhand, kind of olay that pitch to keep it in the mitt.
For a guy that struggled as much as Quintana has here on the Cape, and especially these first 2 games in last season, he's looked really good tonight with the 2 singles.
2-0. Fastball catches the outside corner. Called a strike. Quintana 2 for 3 tonight. First hit of the season. Down 0-2, battled back to 2-2, and hit it back through the hole on the right side. The 2-1. Swung on, broken bat looper to the second base side. And the catch is made by Andretti for the first out here in the top of the 8th. Came in on the hands of Quintana, tried to fight it off. And he'll need new lumber in his next at bat. Another pinch hitter here for YD stepping in to the box. And that will be Micah Prees. Pinch hitting for Luke Robinson. Prees, the lefty, looks at the first pitch, misses up and away, a fastball. Prees 6'4", facing 6'5" Chase Smitty. Smitty from the windup, the 1-0. Fastball stays upstairs, and Prees ahead in the count. 2 balls and no strikes. From Point Loma, Nazarene hit .386, leading the team this past season. Smitty kicks the right-hander, 2-0. Fastball stays in, and 3-0. Prees in the driver's seat. Three-ball delivery. Fastball down Main Street, called a strike. 1 out in the top of the 8th. YD trails the Firebirds by 2 here early in the Cape League season. Game 3 for the Red Sox. 3-1. Fastball stays upstairs, and Prees works a walk.
That's what you want to see. You got to get these base runners on. Only 5 outs remaining for the Red Sox. Still trailing by 2, but I said now with the runner reaching base, the tying run steps to the plate right now.
That'll be Charlie Kincannon, another pinch hitter for YD, and another lefty stepping into the box with a man on, 1 out in the top of the 8th. Kincannon represents that tying run here for the Red Sox. St. Joe's hit .317, leading his team this past season. The pitch. Called a strike up around the letters on the outer third. Kincannon also battling a team-high 29 RBIs. Outfield straight away with Prees off of first base and one out. Smitty working from the set, the 0-1. Stays upstairs, and the count evens. A ball and a strike, one out in the top of the eighth. YD down by 2. Smitty 6'5", 215. He's certainly slender out there on the mound. Takes a look at first base. Now the right-hander set to the belt. Kicks the 0-1. Stays upstairs behind another YD hitter here. 2 balls and a strike. On the second straight pinch hitter for the Red Sox, this Charlie Kincannon. Kincannon digs himself a hole rather, in that left-handed batter's box and settles in. Smitty kicks the 2-1. Up and away, 3-1. Another YD hitter in the driver's seat here in the top of the eighth.
Well, only 314 down the right field line. If Kincannon could just get out in front of a fastball and elevate it in there, get a barrel on it, might see ourselves a tie game. We'll see here.
Smitty sets at the belt. A man on, one out. The 3-1 from the right-hander. Fastball painted at the letters, called a strike. Smitty battling his way back. Full count here with a man aboard. One out in the top of the eighth. YD down by 2. Smitty sets. The right-hander peers in. The payoff pitch. Runner goes. Swung on and lined out to right field. Drops in for a base hit. Prees had to find that ball. Now runs toward third. Aldretti will just hold the relay throw. And it's first and third. A pinch hit single to right for Charlie Kincannon.
That was a good piece of hitting right there. Prees, makes it to second base, has to make sure the ball doesn't get caught, has to turn around, look out into right field to see that Frazier had to pick up that ball off the ground. Good piece of hitting by Kincannon, getting his hands inside, yanking that ball into right field. Now runners on the corners for YD. The tying runs are on base.
Carter Aldretti, the second baseman, with a quick visit for Shea Smitty, calm him down. Now Smitty clearing some dirt in the landing spot as the 9-man Luke Waddell, another left-hander, steps in, waves the bat across home plate. Another prime opportunity for the Red Sox. Trailing by 2, the 1 away in the top of the eighth. Runners on the corner. First pitch from Smitty. Swung on and popped up foul out of play. "6'5", 215 Smitty versus 5'8", 175 Waddell. Waves the bat across home plate. Runners on the corners with just an out in the top of the eighth. Smitty, the right-hander with the 0-1. Fastball up and away, misses. Waddell from Georgia Tech hit .283 this past season in 42 games, made 31 starts as a freshman. Smitty set to the belt. Runners on the corner, 1 out. Right-hander with the 1-1. Swung on and fouled over the netting behind home plate. Now a ball and 2 strikes. Waddell's going to have to battle.
Yeah, I got to protect right here. Got who's standing on deck. Zach Ashford. The lineup will turn over. Waddell just got to find a way to get on base.
Breeze off of third. Kincannon off of first. YD trails by 2 here in the top of the eighth. And just an out. Now Smitty steps off. Waddell, left-handed hitter. Smitty, right-handed pitcher. Forced to work out of the set with runners on the corners. Smitty sets just above the belt. Kicks the 1-2. Breaking ball stays just a tad upstairs, and the count evens at 2-2.
That was a good take by Waddell. That one looked like did not miss by much. You can see the home plate umpire. John Leeds almost seems like he's about to call that, but decided to. It's ball 2.
Brisk breeze out toward left. 2-2 with just an out. Runners on the corner. The pitch. Breaking ball. Chop to the right side. Aldretti Fields only has one play at first. He'll get the out, but Waddell gets the job done. Priest comes in to score in just a one-run ball game here in the top of the 8th.
So Waddell able to ground that to the right side, and I think the most important thing about that is the runner's able to move from first to second, and now Charlie Kincannon standing out there on second base, representing the tying run in the top of the lineup, due up for YD.
It's Zach Ashford stepping to the dish. 1 for 4 so far tonight. Came around to score twice. Ashford, left-hander, with Kincannon at second base. The pitch. Attempts at the bunt. Didn't make contact with a high fastball, and it's 0-1. Kincannon, not a ton of speed out there at second. We'll see if Ashford squares around again. Smitty sets. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball drops in for a strike at the knees on the outer third. And 0-2 here on Ashford with 2 away in the top of the 8th.
All the Orleans outfielders playing in, trying to prevent this tying run from scoring.
Kincannon out at second base, a pinch hit single that advanced Priest to third. He came around to score on the Waddell ground out. The 0-2. Breaking ball drops inside and low and called the ball. It's 1-2 here on the one-man, Zach Ashford for the YD Red Sox. Looking for a clutch 2-out single and trying to tie this game at 5 here in the top of the 8th. Smitty set to the belt, first base side of the rubber. Right-hander with the 1-2. Swung on and hit on the ground, but right at Aldretti at second, flips to first, and that's in time to retire the Red Sox, but not before they scrape across another run. It's a one-run ball game as we head to the home half of the 8th. You're listening to YD Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
5-8-1.
1 left on base. No
8-3-5, 8-3-4. 8-3-5, 8-3-4. For high-speed ferry tickets. 8-3-5, 7-4-6. 8-3-5, 7-4-6. For the Firebirds Sweet Detroit. 8-3-5, 8-4-7. 8-3-5, 8-4-7. For the Boogie Board. 835-506, 835-506. And for half the money, with the winner going home with $264 tonight. 610-373. 610-373. You have to get those numbers, go on down to the 50-50 table behind the home dugout.
Dyer back. Thank you, Eldridge Park, Orleans 5 and YD. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was right. 6, 7, and 8 is probably out.
Go with Waddell. You have it up. I don't.
Yeah, we're good.
Well, I have the stats for Chandler.
Home half of the 8th, and just a one-run lead for Orleans over the YD Red Sox. Game 3 for YD. Trying to improve to 2-0-1. A new pitcher for the Red Sox, Chandler Fidel, 6'6", 225, the left-hander.
16 games at University of Arkansas Little Rock this past spring. 15 games started of those 16 games, 6-4 record.
The breaking ball drops in to James Free.
96 and a third innings pitch. ERA just a hair over 4.01. 92 strikeouts across 21 walks.
Here's the 0-1 from Fidel. Another breaking ball that snaps and lands at the knees, called a strike. And Fidel ahead, no balls and 2 strikes here on the 6-man Free. Fidel 6'6" from the wind, the left-hander. The 0-2, a fastball that stays up and away and misses. Free 0 for 3 so far tonight. 2 flyouts to center and a ground out to second. Free winds and deals the 1-2. Breaking ball, dips low and outside, and the count evens 2 balls and 2 strikes. With no outs here in the home half of the 8th. In a tight ball game, 1 run separates YD and Orleans. Firebirds with the lead. 2-2. Swung on and tapped to the left side. Charging, Waddell flips to first just in time. Throwing on the run, Luke Waddell able to retire the leadoff man, James Free.
Well, that play is always really tough for some shortstops. Throwing on the run, but Waddell makes it look easy, running hard in towards the baseball and throwing back over towards Matt Dyer, who's back at first base. Helps that Matt Dyer is 6'5", has that long reach to just get the base run.
Kevin Milam looks at a first pitch breaking ball that stays outside. The left-hander Fidel, the right-hander Milam. William Frank finishes the day, 2 innings pitched, no runs, no hits, 2 walks and 3 Ks. Worked himself into a bit of trouble, but able to work out. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball just stays away. And it's now 2 balls and no strikes with 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. Firebirds the 5-4 lead here. The East rival Red Sox, the 2-0. Breaking ball misses low, and 3-0 here on the 7-man, Kevin Milam. Fidel, a quick stroll to the back of the mound. Now centers himself back on the rubber, working from the windup. The left-hander with the 3-0. Fastball right down Main Street, called a strike. Milam looking to create some more runs for the Firebirds. They lead it by 1, the 3-1. Breaking ball just misses low, and Milam works a 1-out walk.
Well, Fidel's not missing by much. Pepper in the bottom of the strike zone with this curveball, but got the call with his fastball, and his curveball's down there. Looks like he's just missing either just in or just out. And a walk here with 1 out. You're YD. You want that run. You want that runner erased, trying to keep this a 1-run ball game.
That brings up the 8-man Justin Levy, 1 for 3 tonight with a double to left field. The first pitch. Breaking ball scoots inside and misses. Fidel sets high at the chest and at that back shoulder. Now brings things down to the belt. The 1-0. Swung on and a line into center field. It's going to fall in ahead of Ashford. And the runner's held to just a base. Milam at second, Levy at first. Orleans trying to pad on their 1-run lead.
Well, Ashford looked like for a second thought he might lay out for that ball, but realizing the importance of these base runners, got to keep that ball in front of you and leave it for a base hit. 2 runners on now for Orleans.
Especially with so much space behind him. Straightaway center out to 434, and Scott Pickler out of the third base side dugout, a slow stroll out to the mound to have some words for the infield. And Chandler Fidel out on the mound.
I think Pick's just stressing the importance of this situation. Cannot let that runner on second score. Got to keep this a 1-run ball game. Keep yourselves in this game. Give yourself a chance to tie it or take the lead in the 9th inning.
Double play intact for YD. Some defensive changes here. Adam Kerner moves from left field behind the plate. Charlie Kincannon is out and left, and at first base is Matt Dyer back over there where he started the day. Left-hander set to the belt, third base side of the rubber. Peaks at second. The first pitch here to the shortstop, Ricky Martinez, is called a strike. Breaking ball caught at the knees there by Kerner. Fidel holds the glove before he comes set at that back shoulder, then brings it to the belt. Here's the 0-1. Off speed, misses outside, and the count even a ball and a strike with 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. Runners at first and second after a 1-out walk and a single to center. Fidel sets to the belt. 1-1 on its way. Breaking ball just misses, finished at the knees, but a hair inside. Now 2-1 here on the 9-man Ricky Martinez, who's 0 for 2 tonight. He walked.
There's a Red Sox up in the Red Sox bullpen. I cannot imagine Fidel staying in this game if he walks another batter.
Lefty peeks at second. The runners go. The 2-1 breaking ball. Fire down to second base. Govern was late to the bag, not in time. Milam swipes third. Levy takes second, and now runners second and third with just an out in the bottom of the eighth.
Well, I can't stress how that's not great for YD because now the double play's gone with only one out.
And a called strike on the pitch. So 2-2 here. Kelly Nicholson, the Orleans field manager, with a couple questions for the home plate umpire. John leads on the count. Scoreboard reads 2-2. They thought it was 3-1. Instead, it stays at 2-2. Back to the windup for Fidel. The pitch. Breaking ball drops low, and this count runs full. Orleans with a 1-run lead, threatening to tack on more. 2 runners in scoring position with just an out in the bottom of the eighth. Fidel winds and fires, payoff pitch, tap foul and off of Martinez's body. And we'll do that one more time.
Milam off third. Martinez digging back into the right side.
It's Milam off of third, Levy off of second, and Martinez in the box. Fidel from the windup. Payoff pitch from the lefty. Swung on to the shortstop there. Waddell, who backed up, only has one play at first. He gets the out. And a heads-up play there. Waddell, who is at the lip of the grass with the infield in, looked at third, looked at second, then fired to first for out number 2.
Yeah, and that ground ball was really helpful right at him. He was playing about halfway, right on the base paths. Able to come in, get that ball. You're right. Just look both the runners back, make sure they stay where they are. That's a huge second out without any advancement from the base runners.
Now the infield back to normal depth with 2 outs and the one-man Brandon White up. He takes a first pitch fastball called a strike on the inner third. White so far tonight, 1 for 3. Scored a run on the 2-run shot from Wyatt back in the first. Fidel still in the windup with 2 men aboard, the 0-1. Breaking ball drops in for a called strike, and Fidel back in the driver's seat ahead 0-2. The lefty peeks in just over the glove there that he brings up to the face. Now winds the 0-2. Swung on and popped up the chute there. Govern at second base on the right side, camps under it. Now falters back and makes the catch. And Chandler Fidel works into and out of trouble. And now YD looking to tie this game up or take the lead in the top of the ninth. They trail the Firebirds 5-4 through 8. You're listening to coverage of YD Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Last licks for the Red Sox, trailing the Firebirds by 1 here in the top of the ninth, and Shea Smitty stays out there for the save. He will face 2, 3, 4, Govern, Cotton, and Dyer due up for the Red Sox. YD hasn't faltered with the hits tonight with 9. They trail things by just a run.
And these are the guys you want up, 2, 3, and 4 in your lineup.
Govern steps into the right-handed batter's box. The first pitch from Smitty bounces its way to the plate. The 1-0 here, the right-handed Govern ahead of Smitty, the tall right-hander, out on the first base side of the rubber, working from the windup. The 1-0. Swung on and missed. A fastball pushed past Govern. The count evens. No outs in the top of the ninth. Whitey looking for a run to tie this ball game up. Their first trip out to Eldridge Park to face the Orleans Firebirds. Smitty, the 1-1. Breaking ball sweeps outside and misses. 2 balls and a strike. Govern trying to work his way on. He'll do anything he can. He represents the tying run. The 2-run one from Smitty. Fastball misses low on the outer third. Govern 8 of 10 stolen bases with Eastern Illinois this past season. Smitty with the 3-1. Upstairs, ball 4. Governs on to lead off the top of the ninth.
That's exactly what you want. You got the tying run on first base. Right at the start of the ninth inning, you got your big bats up. Quinn Cotton at the plate now. Matt Dyer standing on deck.
Cotton has had success so far in this season, but today he is 2 for 4. 2 singles, an RBI. He certainly got speed as well. Smitty set to the belt, first base side of the first pitch. Runner goes, fire down to second base, bounces in, and it is not in time. Govern called safe, sliding to the back part of the bag. That ball really died when it took that first hop.
Another aggressive call by Scott Pickler on the base paths. We saw it yesterday with the suicide squeezes there in the ninth inning, and Govern first move takes off for second and immediately puts himself in scoring position.
So the tying run now out at second base for YD, down 5-4 here in the top of the ninth. No outs. After a leadoff walk for Jimmy Govern, he's at second. Quinn Cotton at the plate. Righty on righty matchup. Smitty set to the belt, peeks at second. Here's the 1-0. Upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. Smitty's behind in this count. And no outs in the top of the ninth. Cotton with 43 RBIs in the collegiate season. Looking to tack on RBI number 4 here, the 2-0. Fastball stays upstairs, 3-0, and Cotton better be sitting dead red here, right, TJ?
Smitty just can't find the strike zone, and yeah, you gotta see something right down the middle, wherever you are most comfortable hitting. Otherwise, I'd leave the bat on the shoulder and take the 2 on with no one out.
Cotton waves the bat now, brings it back to the shoulder. Smitty, the right-hander, looks at second. And now Govern goes. He steps off, fires to third. And a great call there from the second baseman, Aldretti. Govern is tagged out trying to get that first move jump.
Well, that's when the aggressiveness comes back to get you, trying to be a little too greedy on the base paths. That first move, instead of lifting up the leg, instead of going home, coming back to second. And just like that, Whitey erases the tying run off the base paths.
3-0 to Cotton, a fastball laser straight, called a strike down Main Street. Whitey's still alive. 1 out in the top of the ninth. They trail the Firebirds by 1. 3-1. Upstairs, ball 4, and now Cotton's aboard. And he represents that tying run as Matt Dyer now is due up. He gets the baton.
First baseman from Arizona, number 5, Matthew Dyer.
Dyer 1 for 3 tonight. And a mound visit here is Jamie Quinn out of the first base side to bring the infield in, have a conversation with Shea Smitty. Some throwing in that Firebirds bullpen, but nothing, no hurry really out there. Seems like it's Smitty's game right now.
Yeah, you'd have to think so. And, you know, we've talked all game about how many opportunities YD has had. 4 runs on only 9 hits. Like I said, we keep saying they're in this game, but just the chances have been there for YD to capitalize. Just they haven't been able to just finally just get it.
Firebirds looking to turn 2 here. That'd send them home happy. YD trying to keep this game alive and score Quinn Cotton to tie this game at 5. He's at first base with Matt Dyer in the plate. Righty on righty matchup. Smitty on the first base side of the rubber. First pitch to Dyer. Swung on and fouled away. Up onto the hill, a couple young fans converge, and one makes a terrific catch. He gets a baseball. A victory lap for him as he runs toward the outfield. As the hill extends out there, getting high fives. No balls and a strike here on Dyer. With Cotton on first, throw over to first. Cotton back in time. Sliding in head first.
Now, we've talked about Cotton's good speed, but is Coach Scott Pickler going to risk another run on the base paths with a stolen base?
It's a good question, and we'll see. That failed suicide squeeze didn't stop him. You don't think a caught stealing would either. The 0-1 to Dyer. Well upstairs above the eyes. Count even at a ball and a strike with one out here in the top of the ninth. Cotton on first base for YD. They need a run to tie this game at 5. Slight breeze. Swirling around a little bit, now toward left. 9:45 here in the Cape. The pitch. Swung on and missed. A fastball up above the letters. Dyer couldn't catch up to it. It's Cotton at first. Dyer tapping the back bat on home plate in the right-handed batter's box. He's behind 1 and 2. Smitty settles at the belt. Kicks and deals 1-2. Fastball upstairs. Count even at 2 and 2. Dyer waves the bat across home plate. Cotton off of first and Smitty sets. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball fought off and just hit over the screen behind home plate. In on the hands there of Dyer, but he stays alive.
Well, that curveball was hung up there. If Dyer just been a tad earlier, he could have caught that on the barrel, and I don't know. We don't know because that didn't happen, but Dyer got to keep fighting right here.
YD looking for a run to tie this up in the top of the ninth. They trail 5-4 with one away. Cotton off of first. Smitty sets. Kicks the 2-2. Up and in. Count runs full on Matt Dyer, the 4-man here for YD. He's delivered a hit today. An RBI double down the left field line. Love to see another ball down the line. See if Cotton could score from first. Certainly has the capability. And Smitty now steps off the back of the rubber and resets himself.
Cotton, one of, if not the fastest guy on this YD roster right now.
Smitty shakes the head no to James Free behind the plate. Peeks at first and sets at the belt. Pauses. Throw over to first. Close play, but Cotton in on time. Back in time. Tag came up on the back of Quinn Cotton. Dyer back into the right-handed batter's box. Cotton off first with one away in the top of the ninth. Smitty, the right-hander, sets to the belt. First base side of the rubber. Payoff pitch. Runner goes upstairs, ball 4. And runners on first and second. Whitey's still alive here in the top of the ninth with just one away. 2 men aboard.
Now, Kerner, you just got to think other way. Adam Kerner, who is stepping to the plate right now, just go other way out into the outfield. Just get something and let Quinn Cotton run, but looks like Orleans coach Kelly Nicholson won't let that happen with Smitty.
That'll do it. Shea Smitty's day is done. Can YD tie it up or take the lead here in the top of the ninth? We'll see next. The reliever coming in. We'll learn about him after the break. You're listening to YD Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for the Firebirds from Eastern Kentucky, number 27, Aaron Oceanvine.
Zero strikeouts, right? Yeah. It's got you. 27. I don't know how to spell that. That is
Oceanvine.
Oceanvine, yeah.
Yeah. High leverage situation here at Eldridge Park. Orleans 5 and YD 4. 1 out in the top of the ninth. Runners on first and second for the Red Sox. New pitcher in the ball game. Right-hander Aaron Oceanvine. Let me know when you have first victory.
It's Aaron Oceanbine, 6'3", 225 right-hander from Eastern Kentucky, making his Firebirds debut in a tough spot. His team up by 1 here in the top of the ninth, but runners on first and second here for the Red Sox in just an out. YD trying to tie this game up, take the lead here late. They've trailed the entire game, and TJ, what does Oceanbine have to offer?
51 2/3 innings at Eastern Kentucky this season, 4.7 ERA, 71 strikeouts across 25 walks, so striking out well more than a batter in innings. So little swing and miss with his game.
And Aaron Kerner steps up, Adam Kerner rather, for YD. Came in with a prime opportunity, same as we have here, runners on first and second in the top of the seventh and just an out, and grounded into a 4-4-3 double play. A chance to avenge that out here and tie this game up for the Red Sox. They trail it by 1 here in the top of the ninth. Oceanbine working from the set here with 2 men aboard. It's Cotton at second and Dyer at first with a big lead. The first pitch called a strike at the letters and on the inner third. Adam Kerner, the right-hander, settles in, as does the righty Oceanbine. Set to the chest, the 0-1. Swung on and fouled over the screen behind the plate. No balls and 2 strikes here quickly on Adam Kerner. 1 for 4 so far tonight, a single on the infield to the shortstop there, Martinez. YD down by 1. Runners on first and second. Cotton with plenty of speed out there at second base. Just an out. The 0-2. Protection hack spoils it off behind the dish. Count remains 0-2 with just 1 out in the top of the ninth.
That was a really tough pitch right there. Just all credit to Kerner just getting the bat on that one and fouling it off. Curveball just diving away out of the strike zone.
Not quite on the water, but enough to get that ocean breeze here. Nearing 10 o'clock. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and fouled back again. Cued to the screen behind the dish. A high fastball. Kerner somehow was able to get up to that one. It's Cotton at second base. He walked, as did Matt Dyer on first. Just 1 hit, but 4 walks allowed by Shea Smitty. He's responsible for that pair on the base paths. The 0-2 from Oceanbine. Swung on and popped up on the first base side and foul ground, and that'll reach the hill. Another souvenir for a fan, and still plenty around in their lawn chairs on the hill up the first base side. As the third base side, also the visiting Red Sox fans making the trip about 25 minutes from Yarmouth. Kerner trying to battle his way on base. Tie this game up at 5. YD trails by 1. The 0-2 from Oceanbine. Swung on and driven out to left field, giving chases Groshans, and that will drop foul, slicing its way down the line.
Just out in front of that, caught the end of the bat. Just a tad bit more behind that one. Adam Kerner might have had himself a trip around the bases.
Kerner taking a quick look at the first base Firebirds dugout, and he sets back in the right-handed batter's box. The 0-2. Another protection hack popped up the first base side, and this one again reaches the seats down the right field line.
Well, now Kerner's seen everything Oceanbine has to offer. So should he get something over the middle of the plate, it won't be a protection hat. It's going to be I'm going to drive in a run hack.
Been a battle here between Oceanbine out of the pen, facing his first hitter in Adam Kerner. Still no balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. Runners on first and second for YD in the top of the 9th. The 0-2. Swung on and popped straight up first base side. Free over toward his dugout and again over the screen. Oceanbine has been hacking at Kerner has been hacking at everything. Somehow fouling off pitch after pitch. Looking for a good one to hit.
8th pitch of the at-bat coming up.
It's Cotton off of second base. A ton of speed from him. Dyer off of first. Both walked their way aboard. If you remember, the first out was Jimmy Govern caught stealing, trying to swipe third base off the first move of Smitty. The 0-2. Swung on and popped up on the left side. Martinez, the shortstop, drifts back and makes the catch on the lip of the outfield grass. YD down to their final out.
Well, that's one thing you cannot do, is to pop up on the infield. The base runners won't move up at all, and it's just 2 outs now. Nick Quintana stepping in, and we mentioned he's had a good day. He's struggled the first 2 games, but there's a time to redeem yourself. Now would be the time.
Nick Quintana, so much pop, hit 6 home runs for the Red Sox last season, including a monstrous bomb to left last year. A big situation. The first pitch. Fastball called a strike, clips the inside corner. Quintana added 14 home runs for Arizona this past season, hitting .313. Points the bat out at Oceanbine, now brings it back, top the shoulder, the 0-1. Fastball now catches the outside corner, and Quintana has to battle here. YD down to their final strike with that tying run out on second base. Cotton off of second, Dyer off of first. Quintana ready in the right-handed batter's box as Oceanbine brings the glove set at the chest. Peeks at second. The 0-2. Swung on and missed, and Quintana goes down swinging. The Red Sox leave a pair on base, and they lose 5-4. Here's the Firebirds take their home opener and improve to 1-1.
Yeah, well, Nick Quintana just mentioned the strikeouts have been a problem for Quintana, and well, Oceanbine just challenges him with a fastball, and Quintana just not able to catch up to it. Just a tough loss for YD. As we mentioned yesterday, they ended up tying, even though they looked like the better team throughout the game, had all the opportunities in the world. And you can say the same thing here today. Should have had 3 runners on there with Govern getting picked off, and they left runners on all game and just, just wasted base runners and a few missed opportunities for the Red Sox, the story of this game.
Another tough loss for YD. Second game in a row where they left a ton of runners out on base and a lot of opportunities to score.
Yeah, it just nothing explains it more than this 9th inning. And, you had your just the big hits for Orleans Orleans was able to get the big hits here tonight with the 2 home runs and just wearing out the YD pitching just enough to scratch out the win here tonight.
The Red Sox got a runner left on base in every inning except for the first when they went down 1-2-3. The Firebirds, 5 runs on 8 hits. They made 3 errors and left 8 on base. YD with 4 runs on 9 hits, an error, and they left that 9th, that extra runner that would have tied this ball game up at 5. Plenty more opportunities for YD. This is just game 3 of 44, and I'm sure we'll see some new faces probably tomorrow for the Red Sox with some new names coming into town. We'll see a little more talent from the Red Sox with some of these temporary players at home.
Yeah, I noticed not activated on the roster, but Johnny DeLuca, a freshman from the University of Oregon, was taking batting practice with the Red Sox today. His teammate Gabe Matthews also supposed to have arrived yesterday. So I keep a look at the transactions tab on the YD Red Sox point streak site and keep track of that. And I think we might see a few new faces on this roster and team tomorrow. and in the starting lineup as well.
Andrew Abbott with the win for the Orleans Firebirds. He pitched 3 strong with the start, giving up 3 hits and just a run. The loss goes to Brent Teller, who only lasted 2 2/3 of 4-hit, 4-run baseball. And the save goes to Andrew Oceanbine, Aaron Oceanbine came in and just shut the door on the Red Sox. This one wrapped up in just under 3 hours, 2:58. And YD drops to 1-1-1 while the Firebirds improve to 1-1. Well, we'll see you tomorrow night at White House Field. Be on the air about 6:20, 6:30 first pitch at Harwich as the Red Sox take on the Mariners for the first time this season. That's tomorrow. And we thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Again, the Firebirds beat the Red Sox in a thriller 5-4 from Eldridge Park. For TJ Matthews, I'm Brandon Pelter saying so long and good night.